So if I gave a about a Titan, that would be a really good sword for me.
You know what I've noticed over the last couple of weeks is that your swearing has got worse again.
No, it hasn't.
It has. The swearing has got worse. The clicking on the keyboards has got worse. The poor listeners have to deal with a lot from you.
Video games? Kind of like, oh my god. Oh, whatever. Yeah, it's like another one.
Peroty, is he roboting for you, or is it just me?
100%.
Okay, that's all right then, because I was thinking it was my connection again. I was panic about this.
No, you sound superb. He is full on melodic hunter.
Yeah, you're completely roboting, Respawn, if you can hear us.
Oh boy, I think I lost internet connection.
Didn't lose it so much as
it's dodging you.
Out.
It's dodging you every 5 seconds.
Well, no, even I got weaseled from Destiny. Something's definitely happening with the internet.
Okay.
I said,
No, that's a normal day on Destiny, isn't it? To get weaseled.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but at the same time that I was roboting out, and at the same time my OBS was crashing its frames, so something happened.
User error. Reset.
You think you're going to loot that chest at the end of the nightfall you ran with the 2 blueberries, but no, we're going to send you to orbit right before that.
But yeah,
we're going to hit the space guitars.
Yeah. So while you sort out your internet, we'll start the show, roll the titles, and we can come back and hopefully, touch wood, grab a whole lot of wood and stick it to your desk to get a good connection.
It wouldn't be a Dawning podcast if it weren't also filled with bugs, just like the Dawning.
Exactly.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Nitedemon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Ranger, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
So, welcome to the show this week. We have Robot Respawn somewhere, we have Peroty, and we have myself, Nitedemon, here to tell you all the festive cheer of the Dawning and how it's not bugged, it's working as intended.
The intentions may just be a little different than Bungie wanted them to be.
Yeah. I mean, should we talk about that now while we're here talking about the Dawning? I mean, I was going to go in a different direction and talk about the end of year developer update, but we can talk about the Dawning as we're talking now.
They're all kind of related, so yeah, I mean, they're all sort of the same thing going, yeah, this isn't great. We're going to try to be more great next year. We'll see what happens.
They're not going to be more great next year. Am I still roboting out?
No, you're fine now.
Okay.
Not at the moment.
We will let you know if there is robots.
Now, what were you all talking about? Because I had to kick people out.
Dawning. We're talking about the Dawning and how buggy it is. And
buggy. Yeah.
I mean, it's.
By the way, you can't focus weapons, so we're allowing you to focus weapons. What?
Yeah. Just to stay frosty, isn't it? Or is it more than that?
The tweet that I saw said weapons, plural. So,
fun.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's been so many issues and so many problems. I saw Astral made a video yesterday, I believe it was, going over like this was basically the cherry on the top of all the bugs and all the things that we've had happen that we were talking about last week on the show. That the Dawning coming back and just being as buggy as it is, and it basically being a copy and paste of last year, because he even said in his video, Astral, he said, I could have just reposted last year's video on how to do the Dawning because it's exactly the same. And the amount of things
somehow more broken for not having an event that you've updated. The fact that it's gotten to us, the players' hands, in such a state is a real testament to, clearly there's some testing that goes through it, before they release it. Even if the event itself is the same, the game around it has obviously changed in the year between it.
Yeah.
And we're really, I feel like, seeing that this year going, yeah, well, the dawning may be exactly the same. We added a new cookie, but the entire game has changed, and turns out you need a QA team to test things and a community support team to, get on top of bugs and, people to produce video games of a high quality. And we don't have that because we said, why do we need them? Let's just get rid of them all. It'll be fine.
Speaking of bugs and people, I just wanted to point this out because we're talking about the dawning, right? Micah called me yesterday. Not
Is
yesterday.
Michael back playing Destiny? Just checking.
Micah's been playing Destiny.
Oh, good.
Since this season started, or since
no,
the last
no one ever truly
episode started, right? Yeah, but remember how? I mean, of course you do, because I was complaining, right? And I was complaining about this cape.
No. Let's not get into that.
I'm not going to get into it right now. I'm just going to say what happened yesterday, and I'll complain about the cape later, right?
Okay.
So Micah being Micah, and a little bit of indication here. He called me out of the blue yesterday, and he goes, "Respawn." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "What the hell did Bungie do to? Why did they decide to give hunters a cape for the dawning? Not a cape, a kite for the dawning." And that's all I'm going to say right now, because I'll get into it later. I was like, you know what? I've been fighting that fight since I first saw that picture, dude. And I got into it real bad. But when a Titan is calling a hunter to give me grief about...
You are kind of jumping the gun with your thing. We'll come on to that.
Of all the things he could be complaining about, there's so many more things, though. There's so many more things he could be complaining
There's nothing more important than the fashion game, and we got
I know that. But this dawning, with the amount of issues that it basically is a copy and paste of last year. I mean, I'd like Bungie to come out and deny it, because where we had people going, and you can literally click on, if you'd gilded your title last year, you could go into the book and just click all the buttons again and re-gild it, because it just acknowledged that you'd already done it the previous year. And for me, last year, because I didn't gild the title, I was already like 3/4 of the way through of actually gilding it, and I was adding to it when I was participating in the dawning this year, which says to me that it is a copy and paste of last year's, because normally when you have an event come back around, it doesn't let you access the last year's one. That kind of is all grayed out. It won't let you kind of do that because it's added to a different node. But because it's a copy and paste, it says to me that it
won't let me do it. None of mine are clickable.
It did at the beginning of the week. They've maybe patched it.
Biscuit.
They've probably I mean, they did autocomplete a whole bunch of the things you had to do because they weren't counting. And if you were quick on the draw this year, you could get an updated event card for free.
Yeah, in the first hour.
Because when they launched it, it was there for 0 silver. And so if you were quick on the draw, you could get the updated event card for free. Apparently, there's also issues with different things being for the incorrect amount of silver. Yeah. So Bungie is basically sent a blanket statement of, if you got something for free or cheaper, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, that's their gift to you. If you paid for something that was more expensive than it was intended, you will be getting a refund, in silver at some point. So, I don't know. I don't have a list of like all the things that were affected. So yeah. So if you got a deal, enjoy your deal. If you paid more unknowingly, then at some point you'll get a refund of that extra silver back to you.
Yeah. And I do feel sorry for Bungie. As the people that are still there working for Bungie and trying to do what they can do to keep this game ticking until we get to Frontiers, because that's what it sounds like. Looking at the end of year 2024 developer update that we got this week from Robbie Stevens, it looks like they are putting like 120% of their effort into what is coming next in Destiny. And even though we are kind of like moving along with the episodes, which are technically seasons, they're kind of trying to reaffirm that Frontiers will be the next big thing in Destiny. We will have a big bag to chase. We will have something to do, because at the moment it feels like you're kind of lost in the sea of, well, we've defeated the big bad. We're on a cleanup duty at the moment, and that isn't really kind of enticing to many people. I mean, the rest of us that are still here playing it and enjoying it, we enjoy it basically. But I can see where they're kind of coming from, and I could sympathise with it. I've seen a lot of people complaining, even in our own chat, saying, voting with not playing the game is kind of telling Bungie and Sony of how you feel, that you don't want to play the game. But you're in fact, and again, I think even in the Astrocross video this week, his commenters and his followers were saying the same thing. If you lose players, you lose revenue, which then affects the studio, which makes it even worse for the people that are still there and trying to do a good job. And I know it's hard to carry on playing a game that has got so many bugs and so many issues and things like this, and you're kind of hoping and trying to hold out for what is coming next in Destiny. But as a new player, it's probably hit and miss with the bugs. You're probably not finding it. It's going back to like us kind of day one Guardians, or Guardians that have been around for more than 2 or 3 years, that are kind of affected by all this kind of stagnation in the game and the kind of the copy and the paste and the same thing going over and over and over again. And I don't know what to kind of really say to people apart from play the parts of the game that you enjoy, because if you don't enjoy the bits that aren't kind of working properly, don't play it. If you don't have to do the Dawning, you don't have to guild your title, you don't have to do any of the stuff that is in the book that you can get for free. Just play the game and you'll passively get it. You'll kind of unlock the game as you kind of go along. And that's probably the best advice that I can give, is that it's just go and do the things you like. Peroty will play Gambit. I will go and play some Crucible, maybe a bit of Onslaught. I mean, Onslaught was, I was getting one Dawning Spirit or Essence per level going up to the 50 waves in Onslaught, and I was thinking, oh god, this is useless trying to do this. It's like going so slow. But I was enjoying playing Onslaught, so that was kind of negating the fact of, or counteracting the poor kind of quality of the Dawning materials that I was kind of getting. And but yeah, I was enjoying the Onslaught. I was enjoying playing Crucible. So it's just do what you want to do, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's like, unless you're trying, there's plenty of ways to go out and farm for the Dawning materials, and if that's what you're trying to do, by all means, go farm. There's a number of places, Shirochi and others, you can go to farm for those materials. It is, like you said, it is frustrating when you're like, let me run a Contest of Elders, let me run an Onslaught. Activities that should be, on par with the ritual activity playlist to get Dawning materials, and it's frustrating when they just aren't. Like, I found myself running strikes this week just because I knew that would be a way to get varied enemies and to get things done, but like I wasn't enjoying the strikes. Like you said, I went back to Gambit because I can get all sorts of different enemy types, get different weapon kill types there, earn materials that way. And I even played a bunch of Crucible this week. I saw Hardware Supremacy was up, and I said, let's go play some Hardware Supremacy. Why not? I still got my Iron Beta loadouts set up. I'm sort of I've now played a little bit of Crucible. I sort of feel like I have a vague clue what's going on there. And had a really good time with it. Like, the Hardware Supremacy was good fun. Like, it's been, I'm not going back to any sort of real like PvP shooter at this point in my life, but it was fun to go back. It was fun to play it with a totally just straight gunplay. Like, because the hardware modifier is no abilities at all, no grenades, no anything, no supers. It's just you're going in and you're doing gunplay. And in this case, gunplay and Supremacy, and nobody picks up crests, but I think the blueberries I was running with, everybody was just sticking as a team. On my team, we were all just like, let's run around as a mob of 6. So we were getting kills and cleaning up crests because they were there and there was someone to grab them. So I actually had some decent success with it. Whereas oftentimes I feel like when I play the game modes that require doing something, no one's doing it. But it was really like I had a really good time with it going, I can enjoy this gunplay. I can actually feel a little bit successful because I'm not the worst at shooting people. And we're actually collecting the crests, so we're actually getting some wins on this and not just losing every game or getting blown out because everyone's got, 40 kills on my team, but it's touched 0 crests.
Respawn, what about you this week?
I haven't really done a whole lot in Destiny, I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
Like I said last time, I'm just kind of, they've given me a whole lot of loot and nowhere to put it. My vault's maxed out, and I'm just kind of meh. I've seen the loot. I think it's nice loot, don't get me wrong. if you don't have a lot of these rolls, like I even have them right here. If, for example, they have the Mistral Lift, which is a linear fusion rifle, they're not really kind of great right now. But if you're looking for a linear fusion rifle with reconstruction and either high impact reserves or firing a line or bait and switch, it's a really good option. I have that stuff already. They also have the Albedo Wing, which has replenishing Aegis, which, if you don't know, blocking replenishes your magazine. And if that works with the bolt shot that's in the next column, I don't know if it does, that's going to be a really good roll. You could also get that with close to melee, which I already have on that new stasis glaive, so don't need it here either. And that's really all there is to it. If that works together, if the Aegis works with the bolt shot, great, get that roll. They have the Stay Frosty, which is the pulse rifle that's coming back. There's probably a really good PvP roll in here. Lone Wolf probably
And
with
PvE.
Headseeker. PvP, sorry. A Lone Wolf with
No,
Headseeker.
and I said and PvP and PvE rolls.
Well, the PvE, I would say probably Rhyme Stealer and Headstone, I guess.
Can I just call you Cool Guy from now on?
I mean, it's really the only one that makes sense, you know? Because, I mean, what else would you get for PvE? I mean, Kill Clip is on there, but that, again, that's more of a PvP role, you know? You get Lone Wolf, Kill Clip, Lone Wolf, Desperado, Lone Wolf, Head Seeker. I mean, yeah, that's mostly a PvP gun. The Zephyr I talked about in the beginning of the show, I think this is really good for a Stasis Titan. He's got Rhyme Stealer on here, and you can pair Rhyme Stealer with either Surrounded, Chain Reaction, or Whirlwind Blade. That way you Titans can pop your barricade to make the crystals, break the crystals, heal, get frost armor, shenanigans at play.
Yeah.
Glacioclasm, I already have this exact roll, which is why I don't give a damn about it, but it's got Subsistence and Reservoir Burst, which is arguably probably the best roll you can get on it. For PvP, you got Under Pressure with High Impact. So basically, when you pull it out, you're already at the bottom half of the magazine, so it's going to one-shot anyone, you know? So that's the PvP roll right there. Cold Front, I don't know how true this is. It's got rewind rounds, which is going to be good, but I don't really know what to pair with in the last column. I would guess Frenzy?
Is Cold Front available?
I mean,
because I didn't see it in the focusing for it.
It's not in the focusing, but I saw it online. Maybe I was wondering, like, is it a drop? It might not be focusable, but can it drop in the Dawning? Like, as a
I haven't seen it drop. I haven't seen it drop yet. The submachine gun. So I think maybe they're going to be doing what maybe they're going to be doing what they did with the Fest of the Lost, is that they have that one gun that is out of rotation for like the year, and then they'll put it back in and take out something else, like we have with the Horror Story and the Braytech Werewolf. They kind of rotate in and out.
Maybe. So if that's the case, disregard that one then. That could just be on me. And then the last thing is, of course, the Avalanche, which is the solar machine gun. And okay, so you get Rewind on here, which is going to be my go-to. It's also got auto-loading. Also not a bad option there. Subsistence, not bad. It's got Heal Clip. I'm sure somebody out there has a build or some way to really take advantage of Heal Clip on a machine gun. But every time I see Heal Clip on a machine gun, I just think it's so ridiculous. But it's there if you want it. And in the last column, it's got Firing Line if you want to use this gun for DPS. But I would go with the Incandescent Rewind most likely, or Incandescent, probably Incandescent Subsistence for Ad Clear. Makes the most sense, I would say, honestly. But again, I've already got that roll on another, I think, Avalanche, actually, or at least another solar machine gun. So it's just more of the same.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. And a lot of other people have been saying it's more of the same. We've got a new weapon, a new cookie. and then that's it. It's kind of do the
They
same as we
move-
did last year.
But they move the oven to where the tonics are, which I find it much easier to get to without having to go to my quest tab, go down into the where the quests are to get to the oven that way. So, I mean, I'll give
Yeah.
the credit on the small wins. They made the oven much easier to get to and not mix it with all the other quests now that there's a place to put it. That's one of those things where I'm going, I wish you would have done that a long time ago, but I'm glad that we have it now.
I mean, I'm willing to give Bungie a pass for like ever since they got hit with the layoffs and all this kind of upheaval with Sony, because I don't think the workers on the ground level knew what was happening. It was all kind of cheers and oh yeah, you know, we're going to get bonuses, blah blah blah, and things like that. I don't think anybody saw like the big
You can get
picture.
bonuses until you get fired.
Yeah, I don't think anybody saw that was the way that the studio was going, because Bungie, you know, is a heralded studio of doing fantastic stuff. Nobody, I don't think, saw it coming that it was going to go down like this. Maybe upper management, because upper management should know that this is how it would have gone, and they still kind of got their bonuses and things. And you know, not playing the game, yeah, it's going to send a message to upper management and probably to Sony, but it's not helping the guys that are actually putting in the effort to try and do the best they can to help improve the game. And you know, I'm willing to give them a pass for like this year of the final shape was fantastic. You know, raved across all the kind of outlets saying how wonderful it was, and if they can put in that amount of effort for what is coming with Frontiers, then I think it might be the savior of Destiny and the Bungie as a whole. And I'm willing to give them a pass on like the copy and paste dawnings, the copy and paste Fest of the Lost, Solstice, with adding a few things here and there. I mean, Peroty, they must put some kind of effort into kind of, right, we're going to put the holiday oven in here. We're going to, you know, give them a new weapon. We're going to do this. We've got to change this and change that. We've got to do that. So they do little tweaks, but obviously something they can't put a lot of effort into. So hopefully come with Frontiers, and next year I'm expecting them to kind of do more with what we get for these holiday events, not just kind of a copy and paste and here you go kind of thing. It needs to be something not fantastically reworked, but something that is going to actually engage the players to come and play. You know, they upped the drop rate of the ingredients, fantastic, because that's always been an issue for the last couple of years, that you couldn't get the ingredients to bake the cookies. Now you can. So, you know, keep those small wins, but keep kind of trying to improve a little bit better, is what I can say to them. And I'm willing to kind of give them a go of, you know, what's actually happening with Frontiers and forward.
I would like to see more snowballs next year.
Yeah.
That's my, you know,
snowballs all over the place. What are you talking about?
I would like to have a.
Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. Just where I'm at.
I would like to have a team snowball crucible match, like Team Scorched, except it's all snowballs.
Didn't we have that before though?
You run in there.
No,
you know, I don't think it was. I mean, I think they put them in more places, but I would like to have snowballs in, you know, like a Team Scorched where you just have to throw snowballs at each other. It's a dawning event. You know, you can theme it however else you like, but you have to use snowballs. That's your only weapon. I think that would just be a great, silly way to have fun during a dawning event. I would like to have snowballs in Gambit. Not exclusively, right? But, you know, just throw the snowballs in the Gambit too. Like, why is it just Strikes or Europa? Or if I'm, you know, making, you know, I did appreciate where I was able to use, you know, my weapons that created ice crystals and break those to get snowballs, but I would just like them to be just, you know, around everywhere. I would like there just to be more snowballs throughout the world that I could make use of. Like I don't think I've seen, like, you know, like the pile of snowballs you used to be able to find, like when you were running strikes and things. There would just be, like, you know, little like puddles of snowballs you could just go pick up. Like, just re-add those to activities. Like, it's not going to, you know, it doesn't harm anything in the activity. Just, you know, add some snowballs. Let me get my 100 snowball kills or whatever I need, but just give me a chance to play with the snowballs more. They're fun. They're silly. They're, you know, perfectly themed for the season. I wish I could use them in more places. Right. Like, I wish I could use them in more places. And again, like, I would love to have a snowball themed crucible where it's just snowballs. Like, it's just, you know, swap the scorch cannons for snowballs and run around with that.
Just for 3 weeks.
So that,
just for 3 weeks. Snowballs on the control points, snowball control, snowball. Exactly. Yeah, snowball everything. Just snowball the whole.
King of the Hill. Put a snowball mound on the hill, and the one guy has to defend it from everybody else encroaching on him. Yes, that would be hilarious.
But it'd have to be like King of the Hill Rumble kind of thing, 6v6, or not 6v6, just 6 players kind of thing.
In Onslaught, I would like to defend a snowman from the forces of evil. Make sure my snowman isn't taken down.
Yeah, just silly things that have no bearing on the game. I mean, let's face it, the Dawning, the Festival of the Lost with these stupid headless ones with the lore and things, it's like, and the Solstice, it doesn't make any sense. So just put it in there just because it's nonsense fun. That's all we want, nonsense fun. I mean, I played the whole, the new Onslaught, 50 waves, and not one snowball. I mean, I know I wasn't on Europa, but I was using stasis weapons and stasis super, no snowballs. Where was my fun in that? Hey, no, couldn't get any. Not happy. But what I did do this week is I took Donnie's advice. I completely forgot because I would have told people about it last week. So I'll make a mental note to make sure if the Dawning comes back next year and it still works the same way, the Starfarer S7M ship that you could get from the Dawning 2020 had the different kind of ship engine effects. You remember this? You could change the engine effects to be mint, which was a green fire coming out the back, cocoa, which was the chocolate effect, and then you had rose, which was the red effect coming out the back. But it also gave you Spirit of the Season, which grants you a chance to generate Dawning Spirit whenever you find Dawning ingredients. And Peroty was talking to me this week and said, have you done any Dawning? I said, have I done any Dawning? Of course I've done Dawning. I spent 2 to 3 hours on the moon in I think it's Into the Deep mission, where you can go down and get to the cryptolith part, and you don't get a super because it takes it away because you're meant to be running back out of there, and Eris is meant to kind of try and save you. But you have infinite thrall, just like forever thrall, just coming out of doorways everywhere to kind of get you. And I go there every 3 weeks to kind of get my tonic ingredients because I can get the spirit stuff and I can get the explosions and things every now and then just to top it back up to the maximum. So I went there and I thought, I'm just going to stand in here and I'm going to do my Dawning stuff. And the ingredients was just dropping like non-stop for I know it was just chitin powder for killing the thrall, but I was getting all the other different kind of ingredients for doing different weapon kills. Because I started off with just using my, the Graviton Lance. Because you shoot one in the face and then you get all kind of the explosions because the balls just bounce around all over the place and you just stand there and it's only every now and then you have to shoot another one in the face and so I got my void kills in for the Dawning really quickly and I thought, okay, well let's try Risk Runner for arc kills, because once they scratch you the thrall you can kind of just shoot one and it kind of just just change the lightning and they keep scratching you, get your overshield, and it just keeps proccing the constant. I didn't have to reload. I just stood there with my button held down, just moving around like I was a machine gunner backwards and forwards and got the arc ones done. And then I needed to figure out solar. So I was playing around with the different solar ones and then the stasis and then the strand. And before I knew it, I kind of maxed out lots of ingredients. And I was like having so much fun, just like the 2 to 3 hours just completely passed me by because in my head, I was thinking, if I get enough ingredients this time, all I need is the Dawning essence from going to running around and doing the public event jumping, or kind of just go and do the strikes or go and do Crucible, because you get large chunks of that, 10 to 12 per thing. And I can kind of do that and then just do the rest of the kind of the Dawning stuff at the end. So by the time I'd kind of finished doing this 2 or 3 hours, I'd kind of had so much ingredients. And because I was picking up the ingredients and I had the ship on, the amount of spirit that I'd earned, I believe it was something like 400 spirit. And I was like, what do I need the spirit for? I can't really remember. And it wasn't until I went back to Eva in the tower that she went, do you want to unlock these upgrades for the snowballs and everything else? And I was like, that's what the spirit's for. So I bunged all that off, completely maxed out the spirit within a couple of seconds, and then I've still got about 200, 300 spirit left. I don't know where to kind of check because I'm not on my thing. But I'm like, so now if I want to kind of get the weapons, I need a gift in return, and I've got all this spirit as well. So I'm sitting pretty, and I had good fun. It was a, I wasn't doing much else apart from just sitting there playing around with different weapons and just different kills and things. And because I was on my Titan, I used my insurmountable skull fort, and I was kind of bouncing around, punching people in the face to get the brawler ingredients, and then I was kind of doing finishers, and good fun.
You have all the spirit that I now need.
Yeah. The only problem is with that a mission on the moon is it only comes up every 3 weeks. So by the time people hear this, then you won't be able to do it there. But there are other places you can kind of do farming and things. So,
FYI, since you didn't tell anybody about it, the ship that he's referring to, the
if you have it,
the Starfarer 7M, if you've deleted it and you're like, oh my god, that's right, I forgot about that ship. Where is it at? It's in season 12. If you go to season 12, shows how long we've been doing this. It's in season 12 ships. Go back there. That's where you can find it instead of searching all through your ships and be like, where is it? So season 12 ships where you can find it to re-get it if you need it again.
And also the Dawning Cheer Sparrow, if you boost while riding that will give you glimmer presence. Glimmer presence will be dropped along your path as you glide along. It's only little bits of glimmer, but it's good fun. And I can't remember what dawning that was. That was probably about dawning 16, season 16 or 20, roughly.
I think that was even older. I feel like I went back looking for it, and it was like season 5.
Oh my word!
It was really old. Let me go double check that, because I had a note that I've now, of course, misplaced.
Yeah,
but yeah, because I went back looking for that one, going, I know it existed. I know it's here somewhere.
I put on my Steam engine that I had from a couple of years back. I was like, I really want my Lost engine back on, my little Snow Steam engine. So I put that on.
So yeah, the Dawning Cheer vehicle, the Sparrow, season 5.
Wow, it went back before that.
We've been here for a minute.
We have. The sad thing is that those kind of things are now not available. She doesn't give you a ship that will give you a boost to like getting Dawning Spirit or, picking up. I don't think even in the Eververse you can get like the ships and the Sparrows that like. I know you can get some of the previous Dawnings, but some of them they keep out of the rotation, and I didn't check to see if they're in the rotation. But some of them aren't available again, and it's like those would be really helpful for people to kind of earn, even if it was an updated ship and an updated Sparrow that kind of did those things. If you had the Dawning Cheer or the Starfarer from way back when, you had that. That's amazing, But to not actually give other people a bit of a helping boost, Bungie, you need to get on this.
I like to add that to my list of wishes for next year, along with my snowballs.
Yep.
It's been long enough. Give us some other fun thing that's actually worth. The cosmetics on the ship this year, like the Sparrow that's completely wrapped in wrapping paper. That's amazing. Like give that the little ability to do something. When I'm riding that around, leave a heavy ammo present for somebody periodically. Just add something. Well, no. I mean, but just like how many activities can you pull your Sparrow out? Just have the Sparrow do something. I mean, just leave a little present, have a little gift wrap present. If another player runs over it, they get some glimmer or some materials. It doesn't have to be anything.
Ammo synthesis.
It doesn't have to be anything incredible, but just like. Just give people a little something for it. Just give you a reason to run it. Like I haven't. There's so few reasons to run these things other than being pretty, which is its own reason, as all the hunters know. But it'd be nice if it was pretty and it did something useful. Live in the world of Ant.
I don't disagree with anything you've said.
Oh dear. And I'm going to talk about it, and I know it's. And I 100% before you start speaking, Respawn, I 100% agree with what you said about the Hunter Cloak. Oh my god, that thing is a hot pile of garbage. I'm sorry, Bungie. Whoever you put on to design a cloak that looks like dragon wings, that just went, well, we're going to have tiny bits of dragon things up here, and then it's just going to go down in a massive block, and then there's going to be a little taily thing at the end. No, why? From a design perspective, it's ugly as. I cannot believe that somebody didn't go, hang on a minute. How many hunter cloaks have we seen over the last Destiny 1, Destiny 2 that have been split down the back? That, you know, you've got a pole in the middle and you've got two. I mean, I've seen ones that look like the Scion commanders that we had in Destiny 1. You had the colours, two colours draped down the side of the.
We have
You know,
one right now that is like 4 or 5 strips of cloth.
Yeah,
Right
it
now.
wasn't. It wasn't a full. It wasn't like it had to be a cloak. The whole thing didn't have to be a full kind of big block of cloak. When you think dragon wings, and the Titans have got those little dragon wings. The Warlocks have got the little dragon wings. If you were going to go with something that was so epic for the hunters, huge folded dragon wings, 2 pieces down the back. I do not understand where you came from with just going, right, one big block and we'll put a little, it looks like a dragon. No, I've never seen a dragon with one big block of blur. How can they fly with that? If you're thinking realistically, how can a dragon fly with that big? It can't. It doesn't split down the middle. You cannot fly. There's nothing to help you fly. It's not a dragon wing. It's just a saggy.
Look, the dragon, the hunter dragon is awful. Bruh,
Yeah,
it is
absolutely awful.
It was awful when I saw it in the picture. When I saw it on my hunter in the game, it was awful. It's not a dragon anything. Looking objectively at it, if I didn't tell you it was a dragon armor set, you would think it was something aquatic, like a fish or something.
Yep.
The only thing
that
hits that is a dragon is the claws on the feet, right? The scales on it are fish-esque. Even the ears on the helmet are reminiscent of like aquatic sea creatures, you know? There is nothing really reminiscent of a dragon on this armor, right?
Terrible.
And all you had to do was give me a set of wings, right? Put some strip of cloth at the bottom, or even like we have the scorpion cloak, right? How it's got the tail that goes all the way to the bottom, right? Something like that. Just the dragon tail that came down from the wings. You could have done anything but this, and it would have been an improvement.
From a design perspective, though, Respawn, there was nothing stopping them from doing 2 dragon wings, 2 huge dragon wings down on your back that are just folded up, like the ones on the Titan and the Warlock. They flutter a little bit, but if the ones on the back of the Hunter kind of just move slightly outwards every now and then when you jumped and things, a little bit of movement to it, I could completely. I've never seen a dragon with just one big flat wing on its back. It just makes no sense. 2 wings.
This existing one down the middle, so it would be 2 independent pieces,
like a demon.
Giving them a pass,
like a demon has like big black wings that fold up behind it. You know, think angel, but reverse kind of thing. 2 big wings down their back, attached to kind of the hunter cloak. You didn't even have to have a hood on it, because I've seen a lot of hunter cloaks where they don't even have that. It's tied around their neck. And you very rarely see that anyway. It just didn't make any sense to me. And when I saw it, I had to go in and inspect it about 3 times. I was like, no, seriously, really? It's no. I just how do you expect the largest player base of your game to be invested in getting something that makes them look like a dragon when it doesn't make them look like a dragon? Oh my God.
Yeah, and this was our opportunity to actually look like a dragon, and they missed the mark entirely, you know?
Yeah.
And like I'm saying earlier, if I didn't tell you it was a dragon, you would think it was something aquatic, you know, like a fish or a serpent or a sea dragon or something, you know? You wouldn't think that it was like a dragon. It gives you no impression of that. And I was like, you know what? I was trying to be objective because I knew the cape was going to be awful. I knew it. I was like, all right, maybe something will be salvageable. Maybe the helmet will be good, or the legs, or the arms, or maybe I'll get a good set of dragon arms to go with some other sets that I have. Nothing from this set is salvageable. Not even the helmet, because the ears, they gave it like huge, like fishy ear things, man. I'm just... Look, man, as somebody that owns almost every single piece of hunter armor in this game, I don't think I'm gonna buy this. Not with silver, not with glimmer, not with anything. I'm wholly disappointed. And as somebody who has been obsessed, and I'm using that word, obsessed with dragons my entire life, I was really looking forward to this, and I was very, very disappointed in it. And this isn't just like from a hunter perspective. This is like I have a thing for dragons. You know, that's why when the Warlocks got their dragon armor set, I was jealous. When the Titans got their dragon armor set, I was jealous. When the Warlocks got their now second dragon armor set, I was jealous. No, the Titans got a gold dragon, right? No, actually, Titans and Warlocks both have 2 dragon sets.
No,
Oh
we
my
don't.
god.
No,
You
we
do.
don't. No,
You
we
do,
don't.
because Titans have the golden dragon from D&D. It was the D&D set. You have
Oh,
a golden dragon.
Okay.
Yes, Titans and Warlocks both have 2 dragon armor sets. Son of a... Whatever.
So-
Anyway,
So clearly, what I'm hearing is you're playing the wrong character if you want to be a dragon.
Yeah.
up.
Also, Bungie may not know what a dragon looks like.
For the other 2 characters, they finally got it right.
Yeah.
I say finally. No, they absolutely nailed it on the other 2 characters. It's the hunters that they don't seem to get it, man.
They were like, listen, they couldn't figure out the dragon with the cape. They were like, we can do dragon, we can do cape, but we can't do dragon with cape. That's where
Like
it
I
went
was
wrong.
saying, even with this cape right here, right? It's an awful cape, but at a minimum, if you could have split it down the middle to at least have 2 separate pieces, that would,
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
know, resemble a wing instead of,
Yep.
like Micah said, a kite. Because
Yep.
that's what it is right now. It's a kite.
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense. But whatever, man.
But apart from
I
that,
think it was
Bungie,
gonna
we'll
be
still be
awful.
playing your game. Yeah,
You're just not getting my money for this armor set.
Stasis Drake set.
Yeah. I say invest in the game that you love, and normally I give cash. I don't normally spend my brightness on these things. I normally spend cash on these things because I use it to support Bungie. But you're not getting my money this time. Not for this set. I'm sorry. You just
No, we're not paying for another race car, Pete. That's it. We're going to support the game by playing it still and tell people how great it is, because it is still a great game. At the core, it's still a great game, and we're still going to be playing it. Still going to be here telling you all the goodness about it each week.
indeed. They just suck at dragons. That's all.
Yeah, they suck at dragons.
Just buy your Doki Doki set. You can run around with pretty bows on your head, and then you wouldn't
I'm
have to worry about
I'm not
dragons.
Doki Doking. Doki Doki is for you. Dragon set should have been for him.
What that is that like a Hello Kitty thing? It's
Yes.
clearly Japanese because Japanese
Yeah,
like
just
to
think-
repeat words, but I don't know.
Just think Hello Kitty bows and things.
Mhm. Just think walking into Crucible with bows in your head and going, "Hi, I want to murder you in the face," and maybe it even happens.
I've seen your armor set, and that would be awful to get killed by that in PvP. But
Mhm.
I still think it's not as bad as somebody figuring out how to make a Titan look like Snow White. If I got murked by Snow White in PvP, I'm done. That's it for me, dude. Yeah, no. If y'all, I forgot where I saw that. It might be Spider Sides. I don't remember where that was at. But yeah, you can make your Titan look like like the Disney princess Snow White, and just wreck people in PvP. Look it up if you want to hurt people's
Beautiful.
feelings.
Beautiful. Yeah. So as we've learned, Dawning's a mess and no dragons.
Well, no, 2 out of 3 dragons. Y'all dragons came out beautiful. Yeah, y'all got good dragons.
You got hot garbage.
We got hot garbage. There's just nothing good about it. No part of our set is good.
But I mean, we did have an end of year 2024 developer update from Robbie Stevens, who's the assistant game director for Destiny 2.
Did
And
he
he
fire
goes
the hunter armor designer? by
Yes,
chance?
he does. He said, yeah, I think that's in the small print.
Good.
And it goes into telling us that, the new destination on codename Apollo, which is content for Frontiers, is complete. So they're focused on polishing the non-linear campaign, which is a Metroidvania gameplay experience, developing their finer details of the world and fleshing out numerous quests that you'll discover during your journey throughout New Frontiers. The core game portal, activities, modifiers, and next-generation gear that will be Destiny's new backbone are coming online, and they're playtesting every week and have planned multiple summits in the coming months with members of the Destiny community to provide invaluable feedback to help us hone our execution. Additionally, they're hiring a handful of gameplay specialist positions, and their specialists sourced from the community will be in the trenches with the dev team, playtesting the new core game progression and gameplay systems, as well as codename Apollo's campaign and post-game. and these specialists provide us with the kind of perspective that you can only get from dedicated players. Dedicated players sitting right here, 3 of us. 2 of them you can get. Me, I don't have a passport, so I can't come. Unless you're gonna, I can access it remotely. Just saying, I can do that. Anyway,
You really
Work from
could.
home, Bobby.
You would be very excited to do so.
I would. Yeah, I'd sign an NDA, I promise. But they're going to go dark on Codename Frontier communication for a while because the team needs the time to playtest, collect feedback, and cook before they emerge again with more details.
Late test.
No, but as I said earlier, I've got faith that this is going to be the next big thing, and it is going to, hopefully propel Destiny forward for the next, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And it's going to be like a Destiny 3. That's how I feel that this is, but they're not willing to kind of yet pull the trigger and say that this is the kind of a Destiny 3-esque thing.
Isn't Frontiers another expansion for Destiny 2?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I mean, it still says Destiny 2 on the tin, but it's a major rework of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they've already said, armor rework.
Again, I mean,
yes,
I knew it was
3.0.
I said that like a question, but I knew it was coming. I'm saying I meant to say it with exasperation, not with inquisitiveness. Yeah.
Those were both there, because that's the question. We're going to redo this armor again, and we're going to give you better things, and it's going to be different. And where are you going to put it, guys? Now,
well, not just that, but now I got to go redo all my armor because they're like, oh, well, we're just going to rework the armor.
Yeah.
They're going to rework the armor you currently have, but it doesn't mean it's still going to be good after they rework it, right?
Well, no, of course it's not. Of course they're going to give you better arms to go and chase that. That's the chase of the game. They're going to give you, like, the armor 1.0 that I've still got is useless compared to the armor 2.0 that we've now got.
I have problems with my vault, and I keep the bare minimum, no year 1 stuff, and only 1 copy of a weapon, and almost no copies of craftable weapons. And you, sir, keep the most ridiculous.
I have a problem.
If
We've
have
gone over this
issues, how do you have anything? Like,
it's well established this man has issues and needs your professional help.
well, no,
Bungie,
it's
for no other
more
reason, that's why you should hire him.
Like, where do you keep your stuff?
in my backpack.
In your backpack. Oh, well,
yeah. Oh, what you mean in game? I'm sorry, I thought you meant like
in your dragon wings, obviously.
Yeah. I hate you, Peroty.
But the thing that kind of is kind of reinforcing the Frontiers is going to be like a Destiny 3 is that they do go on to say, or Robbie goes on to say, that Destiny has a long history of reinventing itself in response to the community feedback and expectations of players. And their North Star, however, remains unchanged as they strive to build worlds that inspire friendship and create amazing gameplay experience that leave an indelible mark on people's lives. So that says to me, it's not a Destiny 3 because they've always, I think they always underline that they wouldn't go on and do a Destiny 3, even though Destiny 3 might be the best thing for them to kind of do. But to reinvent the wheel with Destiny 2 might be the next best thing.
Guess what, guys? Unlimited vault space, yeah.
No, but they did talk about that, didn't they? Previously, a couple of TWABs back, that they are going to be looking at that.
Mm-hmm.
They've been looking at it for Check's watch, Check's calendar, Check's Mayan calendar. 10 years now. Yeah.
I mean, Robbie does go on to say, they've had a rocky start with the weapon issues and then the tonic issues. They are planning a bug fix for December 17th, so stay tuned for the future patch notes. But it's,
Hey guys, we're going to fix Dawning after the Dawning is over. It'll be ready next year, I promise.
That happened, remember? 1 year with one of the events, didn't it? Remember, it was fixed like 2 days before it kind of finished. And I can't remember what event it was, but it was like a really buggy event. But yeah. But again, he kind of deviates from saying, there's all these bugs and things, but their long-term plans to relieve the pressure is, Codename Frontiers. They're going to be widening their focus because as Revenant approaches its final act, we will delve into a Dracula's castle-inspired fortress.
Great. Now we're going to have bat and vampire themed gear, and your stuff's going to look awesome, and our stuff's going to look awful.
Yeah. Castlevania style.
Yeah, I'm just being salty. I'm sorry. Look, guys, I know I'm just being a whiny little baby. Shut up.
You are.
Let me be a whiny little baby.
Yeah, you're allowed. I just wonder, how is this going to look different than Shadowkeep? I mean, not that that was the same thing, but I'm going, that was big castles and things where you could easily put a vampire or two.
This is Shadowkeep with vampires.
Yeah, vampire Shadowkeep.
The thrall's going to come out, and instead of exploding on you, they're just going to suck your blood.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
So yeah, the
Oh,
first two
oh.
episodes had a tight focus on establishing Maya Sundaresh and her Echo of Command as a force to be reckoned with, and Fickral re-emergence with the power to create an undead army with his one. But with Heresy, they're widening the focus because the storyline with the Hive and the Pantheon and the ancient Eldritch forces that shape the universe is going to kind of drive us into Frontiers.
Eldritch? Did you say Eldritch?
An ancient Eldritch force.
Really?
Evil tentacles.
All right. That really? Are we getting Lovecraftian in Destiny? That would
Maybe.
be awesome.
But the events of Heresy are going to be closing the door on the Light and Dark saga and acts as the prologue to the codename Apollos, where the Guardian's purpose in the next saga starts to take focus.
Didn't we already close that door?
No. The echoes were always, or not the echo, sorry, the episodes were the kind of the tying up of the loose ends of, well, what Bungie saw as like the loose ends for us to kind of tie up with. You know, we still had Maya Sundaresh out there, and we still had Fickra out there to kind of deal with. So they're kind of, I think maybe there's a few more kind of threads out there that they could have dealt with, but you know, these are the ones that they kind of chose to focus on because the other ones will probably be taken into account with Frontiers and codename Apollo and Behemoth, which comes after that.
The Titan Focus expansion. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I was watching a Sticky MZ TikTok this week, and he talks a lot about the lore and things. He was saying that the winner thinks that Ziva Arath is a powerful god or something. I'd have to go back and watch his TikTok, but that says to me that in the lore they're kind of ramping Ziva Arath up to kind of be part of this next big thing that is going to be, you know, because we're going to still have to take the evil hive with us, you know, even though we've got the Lucent hive that are technically good on our side, we still need some baddies. So that says to me that, you know, there's still going to be some evil hive that go with Ziva Arath, because they are going to be the last big hive god that we have to tackle. Possibly bigger than
the hive against each other and just sit back and watch them fight it out.
Yeah, we could, but you know, that doesn't make good gameplay, does it?
I mean, yeah. I'd love to sit there and eat popcorn and just watch the whole thing go down. I don't see a problem.
Destiny's RTS expansion.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would link the developer update if you want to have a quick read of that. I mean, I did a quick flyby of all the stuff that was in there, but big thank you at the end. Thank you for your passion and dedication to the Destiny that enables us to chart a course to new frontiers. There was that. This is your weekly rundown of episode Revenant, week 11, starting on December 17th. Week 11 of episode Revenant sees Destiny 2's Christmas event The Dawning enter its second week, running from December 10th to December 31st, and is free to all players. This festive event sees Guardians collect ingredients and bake cookies to trade for Dawning gifts around the Sol system. Eva Levante will be on hand in the tower with a mission to get you acquainted with your holiday oven and cookie baking process. Also, several locations and activities will have snowballs to slow, freeze, and shatter your enemies. We have a new armor ornament set for each class inspired by dragons called Astral Stasis Drake. This year we have a brand new Void Adaptive Frame Linear Fusion Rifle Minstrel Lift as the featured weapon, along with previous Dawning weapons with updated perk pools. The Stasis Lightweight Frame Pulse Rifle Stay Frosty, the Arc Aggressive Frame Glaive Albedo Wing, the Void High Impact Frame Fusion Rifle Glacioclasm, the Solar Adaptive Frame Machine Gun Avalanche, and the Stasis Adaptive Frame Sword Zephyr. Along with these weapons, the Dawning event card returns, with more challenges, title and unique rewards. Also earnable is the Dawning Memento, which you can put into your crafted weapons to gain access to the Icy Shadow Rhyme Keepsake. As a new addition to the Dawning this year, 3 new and exclusive emblems have been hidden inside of a gift in return package: Confectionery Commander, Epicurean Extraordinaire, and Handcrafted Hunter. In addition to all this festival goodness, there is a community-wide event to bake a certain set of cookies on a given week, which will significantly increase the drop rate for all 3 emblems. Also, if you have it available from the Dawning 2020, the Starfarer 7M ship will grant a chance to generate Dawning Spirit whenever you find a Dawning ingredient. And the Dawning Cheer Sparrow will generate Glimmer Presents as you boost along your journey. For a weekly pinnacle reward, Act 2 of Episode Revenant brought with it the Tomb of Elders, and Contest of Elders over in the Last City, which can be accessed after you complete the initial steps of Act 2. Also available for a weekly pinnacle is the Salvation Jade Raid, over in the Pale Heart, and new dungeon, Vesper's Host, which can be found over on Europa, with the exotic sniper rifle Icebreaker up for grabs. Plus, if you haven't already, it's worth dropping in to see the gunsmith, as he has a curated set of weapons available. As a reminder, the Grandmaster Nightfall catch-up node is available, giving Guardians the opportunity to complete their Conquest Seal for this episode. Also, with this node becoming available, this will give Guardians the opportunity to jump ahead and complete the rest of Act 2's Nightfalls, along with the final act of Revenant's Nightfalls before they drop. These being the Inverted Spire on Nessus on week 12, December 24th, and now the Outer Rotation Birthplace of the Vile on the Throne World. Act 3's Nightfalls are Liminality in the Pale Heart on week 13, December 31st, The Corrupted in the Dreaming City on week 14, January 7th, and the Battlegrounds Behemoth on Nessus on week 15, January 14th, 2025. Or conversely be able to complete Act 1's Grandmasters which are now not available. Lightblade on the Throne World, Proving Grounds on Nessus, and Highest Battlegrounds Moon. Over in the Last City we have Onslaught Salvation, which can be accessed after you complete the initial steps of the opening act of Revenant. This new version of Onslaught brings with it new defences, 3 new mats and new enemies to fight. You can select from Widow's Court, Eventide Ruins and Kel's Grave, either normal or expert. Also, the original Onslaught has been updated to include some of the new additions. Located in the Vanguard playlist, the featured Onslaught map this week will be Vostok, with the Siege Hook Ogre kicking off the boss rotation. In the Last City on the Helm, the exotic mission Encore is still available, with 2 difficulty options, normal and expert. Also, from episode Echoes, we have the 3 new battleground activities, Delve, Conduit and Core, with Enigma Protocol and Breach Executable. The expert battlegrounds will start this week's rotation with Conduit. The Dreaming City this week is at a weak curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in the Strand and has the Broken Courier mission for the next week. The Blind One features Scorn enemies and the Plagues, Sigrus and Veracus. The Ascendant challenge will be the Agonon's Abyss over in the Baildred Wishes Lost sector. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is Beyond. The Trove Guardian is located in Archer's Line, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Zoltal in Sorrow's Harbour. Nightmare hunts Crota, Despair, Omnigul, Anguish and Fanatic Insanity. The Altars of Sorrow will start this week's rotation with the Nightmare of Tanix and the Apostate Sniper. On Europa this week, Coradis the Dark Priestess will be the Empire Hunt, Eventide Ruins will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo challenge will be Survival. Days of Eternity expert difficulty rounds are Kabul, Taken, and Crota. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Lightkin armor set will be available in Days of Eternity with Weapon Set 3. Chroma Rush, Ignition Code, Grid Skipper, Farewell, Sonja's Tale, Shattered Cipher, Main Ingredient, Long Shadow, Last Dance, Toil and Trouble, Wishbringer, and Last Perdition. The Witch Queen weekly story mission is The Cunning, Altar of Reflections Catalyst, and Altar of Reflections Insight. The Wellspring activity will start the week on Defense, with the Arc Grenade Launcher Tarnation and Vazul Solar Scorn Chieftain as the boss. The Lightfall weekly mission is Desperate Measures, the Partition mission will be Backdoor, and the Vex Incursion will be Zephyr Concourse. In the Pale Heart, the exotic mission Dual Destiny is still available for teams of 2 Guardians, where you can farm the mission to earn as many new prismatic exotic class items as you like. The final straight cooperative focus campaign mission this week will be Descent. The 12 Guardian Matchmade Excision mission is also available next to the race for a weekly pinnacle, with the Grandmaster version granting the Ergo Sum Catalyst and an Ascendant Shard. The Salvation Jade Raid Challenge this week is the first encounter Substranum called Scenic Route. The Kingsfall Raid Challenge this week is the third encounter Golgoroth called Gaze Amaze. The Vow the Disciple Challenge this week is the 4th encounter Rogue called Looping Catalyst. The Vault of Glass Challenge this week is the 4th encounter Gatekeeper called Strangers in Time. The Garden of Salvation Challenge this week is the 4th encounter Sanctified Mind called 0 to 100. And the Last Wish Challenge this week is the 3rd encounter Morgoth called Forever Fight. Featured Pinnacle Raid 1 will be Root of Nightmares over on Neptune, and featured Pinnacle Raid 2 will be the Deepstone Crypt over on Europa, with all challenges available for all encounters, with the exotic shotgun Conditional Finality being farmable from the final boss in Nightmares, and the exotic rocket launcher Eyes of Tomorrow from the final boss in Crypt. Featured Pinnacle Dungeon 1 will be the Prophecy over in the Legends tab, and featured Pinnacle Dungeon 2 will be the Ghost of the Deep also in the Legends tab. The exotic mission rotator will be Starcross over in the Legends tab, with the Wishkeeper exotic bow being the main reward, and the Season the Wish weapon set. The exotic missions, the Whisper and 0 Hour, will also be available in the Legends tab. This week's challenges are Mod Collector, Gotta Win Them All, Kinetic Forces, Fleeting Glory, Splat, and 1 classified challenge. Lost Sectors, Tuesday Bailed Round Wishes on the Dreaming City, Wednesday, Chamber of Starlight on the Dreaming City. Thursday, The Quarry on the EDZ. Friday, Excavation Site 12 on the EDZ. Saturday, The Broken Deep in the Pale Heart. Sunday, The Blooming Deep in the Pale Heart. And Monday, The Forgotten Deep in the Pale Heart. Our 11th featured Nightfall will see us face off against Brrr in the Arms Dealer over on the EDZ, with the Uzunami RR4 Sniper as the featured adept weapon for the final time. The 6v6 playlist will be Sparrow Control. Supremacy should be in the Party Relentless playlist, Elimination in the 3v3 playlist, Hardware Supremacy in Crucible Labs, with Trials of Osiris at the weekend. This week should also see bonus Trials XP available all weekend long. Still available is the Destiny 10th Anniversary in-game celebration event, and don't forget to keep an eye on Zer this Friday at Reset to see if he's offering another chance to grab a random rolled exotic class item for 41 strange coins. And that's it for the 11th week of the Final Shape, episode Revenant. We got anything else to talk about?
Things are broken. Destiny's awful. You already went over. We didn't go over the update yet. We didn't go over. We did go over the end of year update. You just went over that, and then the This Week in Destiny. We didn't even touch that yet.
We haven't. No, but I was just asking. You know.
Oh, I see. Oh, you mean do we have anything to complain about? Is what you were asking.
Oh no. As a community, we have a lot to complain about. But this week in Destiny, or the TWAB, for the 12th of December 2024, we are cozying up for the holidays, and we're closing out 2024, looking ahead to 2025. Act 3 balance updates, Bungie Store for the holidays, Dawning Fashion and Dawning Bake Off favourites, Bungie Foundation Year in Review, and this week's hashtag D2 Fashion Feedback Update. So, closing out the year strong. Had to reread these because I was like, just want to make sure that I've got these kind of in my diary, that it's the right week that I'm telling these people these things. So
even if it is right week, Bungie still changes it up on you. So.
Bungie, can I know you're going to do it anyway without me even saying it, but next week, Adept as an Army RR4 sniper rifle. If you dare to put double rewards in for the Nightfall next week, just no. Every time that you do double rewards for a Nightfall, it's this goddamn sniper or a sniper similar to it, like the Silicon Neuroma. Nobody wants double loot snipers. No.
Not a single person. I don't keep track of it because I'm like a newborn baby each week in Destiny. I turn up and go, what's the weapon this week? I don't know what it is because it could be literally anything. But yeah, I feel like every time that there's double drops of Nightfalls, it's like you can have all the sniper rifles. Bungie, I have the double drop snipers. I have never once used them and will never use them. I have no intention on using them. Give us double drops of, I don't know, anything else. And I literally mean anything else. You could give me candy canes. Give me a candy cane that's not even a weapon. Just give me that as a double drop. I'd be happier with that.
The last time that we had the double Nightfall drops and Vanguard rep was week 7. So that was back on the 19th of November. Since then, we've had a Crucible, and then Crucible rewards, I believe, for this week. Next week, it should be a Trials because we haven't had a Trials for like about 6-7 weeks now. And then hopefully it'll go back to being Gambit, and then Vanguard on the final week, which will be Liminality, and I can't remember which one it's going to be, but Rake could be Shadow Price. Yeah. So the Uzunami is the sniper rifle, will be your last chance to grab it this upcoming week. But then the week after, we have the Stasis Glaive, which is the Rake Angle, which is going to be available. And that is going to be with, let me tell you your strike that you've got the following week, the Inverted Spire for week 12. And then Shadow Price is hopefully going to be the week of the Liminality, which is your auto rifle, which should hopefully be your Vanguard and your Nightfall rewards. Hopefully. Just throwing it out there, Bungie. Just, yeah.
Throwing it out there with a little bit of resignation and defeat in his voice going, who knows what you're going to actually give us?
Well,
I mean, it should be.
The confusing thing is, they start off strong. They tell us next week will be the final week to get you as an Army R4 sniper rifle. So, next week begins on the 17th. So, okay, got that. I understand that. And then they say December 24th, which is the following week, will be the Rake Angle. Then we move into Adept Summoner of Trials of Osiris. And then it says the final Trials of Osiris week of the year. So, is that going to be this is it going to be like the 28th, the weekend of the 28th? Because you haven't given me a date. Or are you stopping trials a week before? Or is there going to be a reason why trials are around? I need a date. If you're going to start writing dates in the TWAB, Bungie, please put other dates in there so that it's crystal clear that nobody can get it wrong. But for the final week, which should be the week of the 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th, we are going to have the class-based matchmaking of 1 Hunter, 1 Warlock, and 1 Titan on each team for Trials of Osiris. And it will be the final week to get your Summoner Auto Rifle from the loophole, and that'll also be the Adept version that week. Then it says two Crucible Labs modes. So for Crucible this week, we've got Hardware Supremacy. Yeah, that checks out because that's there, which means, you fight over the crest, as Peroty said. Regeneration, your super and ability regeneration is disabled. And then finally, to close out the year, they've got the return of doubles 2v2 clash. So how are you closing out the year? Are you starting that on the 17th and running it for 3 weeks? Or are we doing another week of Hardware Supremacy for the 17th and then the week of the 24th, which would be the week that we're closing out the year, which will run to the 31st, is the week we're doing the 2v2 clash? Asking for a friend, Bungie, because my friend gets really confused if you don't put the dates. Because you could take that as either way. You could be running it for 2 weeks or you could be running it for 1 week.
We'd just like to know.
Please back me up on this. I'm not reading this wrong, that I'm getting the wrong weeks. That's
no,
right.
No, not at all. Like they're, and really, and you're going to read all this and they're going to put out some kind of vague dates and they could all be completely wrong anyway. So, I mean, it's just a surprise when the week gets here, what actually is up. Because something could be broken, or they might just go, we've decided to give you this again. We've decided for it to be Hardware Supremacy from now to the end of the year for reasons.
Yeah, that's what I need to know these things ahead of time, but they're not going to tell me.
No, they're really not. They're going to go, listen, it's a surprise for all of us. And we do mean all of us.
Yeah, even us that push the buttons our end. So 2025, looking ahead, we have Act 3 starting on January 7th. So that first week from January 31st, from December 31st is going to be a kind of, what's happening week. Normally realistically, that should be Christmas week. That should be the week where, there's going to be families and things and you're not going to be able to get much done. And then the 31st, again, another week. But no, we've got like a mini week off before Act 3 of Revenant starts on January 7th. And then the following week, we have Iron Banner for another 2 weeks. We're not going to tell you what Iron Banner is. We're just going to say Iron Banner returns on January 14th. And if you're still looking for a Industries Mastery Rocket Sidearm or the Archon's Thunder machine gun, then they'll be available. But who knows what kind of modes?
Literally nobody knows. I can tell you it probably will not be the Gambit version of Iron Banner because we're just never going to have that one run again.
They'll skip over that one.
But we'll tell you it's coming to get you upset, and then we'll pull it out anyway and go, no,
they might tell us. Yeah, they might tell us like the week of, whatever it is. It's the week or the week before. They might go, oh, by the way, it's this and this. But normally, it should be Eruption the first week, and then Fortress the second week. And we do have a guide for you for that on YouTube if you don't know what I'm saying and it's all gobbledygook. There is a guide. I will link it in the show notes.
So that'll prepare you for no matter what the version is.
Yeah, exactly. We have a new dungeon coming on February 7th. Does that make sense to you guys? A new dungeon? Because that one threw me for a loop.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Isn't it dungeon then raid? We just got a dungeon. Shouldn't it be a raid? Isn't that rotation?
Yeah. Well, that was the rotation until they went, that's not going to be the rotation after the final shape.
As we've discussed, rotations aren't really their strong suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So on Friday, the 7th of February, 2025, at 9 a.m. PT, they will have a new dungeon and a new dungeon race. But for now, start gathering your fire team and save the date, because that's all they're going to tell us.
Just got through the last dungeon. I don't know how I feel about another new dungeon that I'll maybe play once and then go, yep, that certainly is there.
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? We've just got through doing Vesper's Host Dungeon. does the Vespers host, because when a new dungeon comes around, the old dungeon then goes into the rotations, which will then throw out the rotations for Revenant, because it'll have to go with something and then push the other. I mean, ultimately, they were always going to do that. But does this new dungeon then take the pinnacle spot and then Vespers goes into the rotation? Another question that I'd like to know. Or do we have 2 pinnacle dungeons and 1
okay.
pinnacle raid?
You're cute.
And do pinnacles really matter anymore? Do
No.
they?
I mean, I'm
for
still
new
not
players-
at max light, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, but you don't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're like 2,000. Even for new players, maybe if they get to 2,000.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter because everything you're going to do, it's going to pull you up to the highest person on your fire team. So it doesn't really matter if you are or not. It'll say, we're going to drag you along. It'll be fine.
Yeah, but somebody has to be that highlight is the problem.
Oh, yeah. Some of us are that max light.
I am not. Which is crazy for me.
Well, there will be a new dungeon that you can maybe do it then. Maybe it'll be worth it. Maybe it'll be Maybelline. Who knows?
I've only done Vespers Host a couple of times, dude. I'm not really a fan of this dungeon. Gotta tell you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There will be a new one. Yeah, it seems interesting that like it's. I almost would have wished it would have come out like closer to Deepstone Crypt, being sort of the sister
That
dungeon
theme.
to Deepstone. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I've done them both like once all the way through. So
Well, there's just something about it that activates my almonds, dude. Like, it might be something subconscious because I've had to work around radiation, and radiation's like a terrifying thing if you don't know.
oh
Like,
yeah.
what radiation does to you on a molecular level is terrifying. It's like you're the Wicked Witch of whatever in the Wizard of Oz, and radiation is the water. Yeah, dude, it's a horrific way to die, you know? And hearing that Geiger counter, because I used to work with it. Did I already say that? My brain is broken.
Yes, you did say on one show.
Yeah. And we had those stupid ass little counters, and whenever we would send the source out, which is what you call the radiation source, it's called the source, right? When you crank the source out, that little clicker is going click, 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 the entire time it's out until it gets into the depleted uranium core at the end to slightly protect you from the radiation that's pumping out, right?
Mhm.
And then it clicks slightly less fast. And then when you got to bring it back into the quote camera, it starts that click again. And the whole time you're getting cooked by radiation. And it's not a fun sound. And then hearing that same damn Geiger counter sound in the freaking dungeon, it activates my almonds. And I'm just like, I don't know. It sounds retarded, or sorry, it sounds stupid, and I understand that, but I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it, man. Stop it. You know? Granted, I don't have the music on in the game, but I sometimes have the sound on. And just man, when they get close to you and you hear it counting, and when 2 of them get close to you, it doubles the tick. No, just heart rate goes up, stress levels rise, and I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm done for today. That's enough Destiny for now, I think.
So yeah, 2 dungeons, 1 dungeon, and
That's only going to be 1.
2 dungeons and a raid.
2 dungeons, 1 raid. That's a bad.
No,
YouTube
that's
video.
what they're giving us. The Adept Prophet Scout Rifle will be back in trials starting January 31st. It says starting January 31st, trials will return for one final time right before episode Heresy starts. And it will be the last week that the Prophet will be available as a post-match reward. So if you're looking for more Adept roles, you know what needs to be done.
I always have the thought when we get to this point in the season, I'm going, are there so few people in trials at this point? If I were to step in, would I have even the tiniest shred of hope of being successful? And I know the answer is no, because even on a good day, I am firmly in the bottom 10th of Crucible players, bottom quarter at the very least. Like I am not, I am not trials material. But as we get to the end of the season, especially when the game population is down like this, I'm going, maybe is this my time to shine? Could I possibly sneak in at the 11th hour and go, I could go flawless
Not
just
even
by
then.
pure dumb luck by there being so few people playing? And then I think, No, absolutely not. Because there are still enough people that you are still not going to be good enough to do this.
Yeah, the CK Mushroom by himself is
Mhm.
time gating all of us.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even need to be him. It just needs to be like, somebody in their 20s, and I'm still done.
In their 20s, just like in general.
just somebody with the reflexes. I'm like, yeah, no, it's over. It's over. It's all over. But I have that same like delusion every time we get to the end of an active season or whatever. I'm like, maybe if I go play like this last week. No, absolutely not, because I'm still going to get destroyed.
Mm.
But we do have an Act 3 weapon and armor balancing updates because we got to tweak some knobs and things somewhere to make something better, something worse, and just make something a little different than it was before.
Something old, something new, something borrowed, parodies blue.
Exactly. So with the launch of Revenant Act III, they're going to have a slew of additional armor weapon balances that they're going to tell us about. They're going to address a couple of overperforming weapon types in the Crucible, and then buff a number of underperforming options as well. So we're going to do the same thing we've always done forever. But at least you're telling us. We appreciate you telling us things. They focus on some measured changes to bring up a handful of primary ammo CQB options.
CQB,
Close quarter.
Ballistics.
Close quarter.
Yeah, CQC.
CQB.
CQC I've seen, but CQB, what's the B?
Ballistics.
No, you don't want close quarter ballistics because then you die.
Or maybe you do. So anyway, so they're going to bring up a handful of those options with the heavy burst sidearms, the rapid fire auto rifles, and the SMGs. So maybe it's close quarters. Brrr, maybe that's what it is. No, okay. We went to increase the viability of a couple of medium range options like the lightweight pulse rifles and precision hand cannons, while shuffling in the medium long range weapons and with targeted nerfs to high impact pulse rifles and the graviton lance specifically.
Yes,
you can.
CQB is close quarters battle. So CQC close quarters combat.
No, I
CQB,
like his version.
Battle.
Close quarters. Brrr.
Brrr.
So we're touching all those things.
Whoa,
they're also going to nerf a problematic part of the Titan's exotic class item, Spirit of the Alpha Lupi's functionality when combined with thruster. So
the thing that you were talking about.
So the thing I've been enjoying and talking about, because I just got one. They're like I'm really having a respawn moment here. Hey, remember that thing you've been really enjoying? We're gonna touch that one specifically. Problematic in what way? I'm just running around having a good time in PvE, guys. I'm not trying to kill.
Somebody else is making it problematic.
Yeah, see, I'm not trying to use it in a problematic place though. But we'll see. We'll see what they're doing, and if it matters to me at all, or if I care.
And what is it doing? You dodge back, you create a crystal, and then you heal. Is that what's happening?
Well, no. I mean, the Spirit of Alpha Lupi is just straight healing. It's just you get a healing boost when you use your class ability. So whether it's the thruster or the wall, but I guess the thruster is causing some problems. So pop your class ability, you get a healing pulse. Whether it's the thruster or the wall, but I guess the thruster's causing some problem with somebody somewhere. How dare you heal? All right, so I guess we're going to see what happens. So our heavy burst sidearms, they preemptively nerfed them because they had one of the most forgiving body shot TTKs in the game, and they have not walked back the changes entirely, as that goes against the spirit of the current PvP sandbox. But we do feel that increasing the strength of some of the close range primary weapons is worthwhile endeavors, given the relative power of the other close range engagement options. So they're increasing the body shot damage of our heavy burst sidearms from 30 to 33, and the critical hit damage from 48 to 52.8. On 52.8. Very important. Mm-hmm. So some machine guns, they're currently struggling in high end PvE and PvP, where they're currently more resilient enemies, making their small magazines feel overly punishing. So we're going to increase the magazine size by about 10%. So your SMGs
have 33 rounds instead of 30 rounds.
Your SMGs are now going to be more auto rifles because that should
10%. 10% out of a 27 round magazine is 2.7 rounds.
You can't math me. It's still an auto rifle.
Right. So does this apply to the Huckleberry? Because the Huckleberry has a 30 magazine, and compared to some of the other legendary submachine guns, it's not as good. I know it's got the ride the ball perk and it's got the unlimited like rampage on there once you kind of get it going.
And kinetic
But
tremors.
It needs something. It needs a little bit more in that magazine. It's just it's too little for somebody that sprays and plays. Praise those
It's
ones.
too small. Just use auto rifles. That's the answer to that.
I do.
And speaking of auto rifles, the rapid fires, we're going to increase the base damage slightly and remove a resilience gate from their optimal time to kill. So your body shot damage goes to here we go, Nitedemon. Get your pencils out. 13.5 to 13.6 damage. And your crit
Amazing.
rate goes from 23 to 23.1.
Oh,
Here's the thing: the submachine guns are having a problem, not because of the magazine size. They're having a
yeah,
problem.
they are because that's what Bungie says.
No, shut up.
Not what
They're
you
having
say.
a problem because of the damage, dude.
Because there
Right?
are some juice.
Because let's take a second, and yes, I know it's space magic. Shut up. But let's take a magic. Damn it. Let's
Magic
take a
8 ball?
step into how guns really work, right? So you have these guns which are shooting probably anywhere
You
between.
lost
Oh, here we go.
milligrams.
Yeah, you've lost everybody now. How guns really work?
No.
Well,
The-
so
the-
explain,
all the guns in the
explain to
game
me
shoot
the
bullets,
graviton
right?
lance. Does the graviton lance shoot bullets? I think not.
Yes, it does. It actually there is a gun in real life that has a similar effect. It doesn't like track people, but there is a gun where if you shoot somebody, it does
Explain the
detonate,
Telesto.
and it has.
Does it have a void explosion that
Telesto's
creates
just
a black
shrapnel
hole
round.
that sucks other people that are near it next to it into a black hole?
That's classified. I can't talk about it on the channel.
Wolfpack rounds.
Wolfpack rounds has been around for years, dude. Are you not up to military intelligence? Anyway,
Oh, obviously not.
No,
clearly.
guns
Not
are
up to
all-
any intelligence when it comes to the guns. No.
Exotic weapons. No, okay. So the guns in the game, a bullet is a bullet, right? A bullet is a hard metal projectile. The fact that
Not
a
in the
submachine gun shoots faster
none of it's
does not
buckshot.
mean it should do less damage because it's still shooting a projectile that's made out of a hard thing, right? They just
Well,
don't do
soft
enough
thing.
damage. The magazine size is irrelevant. If I came up to Peroty hold on.
Moot
We
point
go on
because I'll be
YouTube.
dead.
Yeah, exactly. This goes on YouTube. I should probably watch what I say, right?
No, it's all
But-
been cut out. This nonsense of real guns and real bullets is cut out.
Not nonsense though, because like
Nonsense.
it never
Nonsense
makes
in
any
Destiny World.
sense. It never makes any sense.
It's a
An
video
auto
game.
rifle-
It's not gonna make any sense.
The only thing the
This isn't
damage should
Call
be
of
the same
Duty.
across the board. The only thing that should change is the accuracy and the range of these weapons, right?
What's the fun of that? This isn't Call of Duty. I don't want to play a game that makes sense. That's not what I'm here for.
What doesn't make sense? Oh, we've increased the magazine capacity of machine guns by 10%. On average, that's going to be 2 or 3 rounds per magazine on a submachine gun. That's not going to solve a single problem.
Well, it's going to maybe solve something vaguely. What might solve our problem, though, is high impact pulse rifles. We've heard your feedback that in the hands of highly skilled players, no Bungie, the feedback of a carrot in the hands of a highly skilled player is going to cause problems for the rest of us. If you've seen the particular movie I'm referencing, you'll know. If it doesn't matter what's in the hands of the highly skilled players, they're going to destroy me with it. So yes, high impact pulse rifles
Because
are
hear us
troublesome
out.
in the hands
They're
of highly
highly
skilled
skilled.
players.
Who freaking knew, right?
Turns out things in the hands of the highly skilled players can feel oppressive. So these high impact pulse rifles can feel oppressive. So we're removing a bit of the baked in forgiveness. So you're removing the thing that might make it accessible to the lower skilled.
Wait. Yeah, I was gonna say that. Hold on. You're
So
removing the
we're-
thing that makes it better for the lower skilled players. So then the skill gap is now even wider.
Yeah. So we're going to require them to hit 6 crits to achieve the optimal time to kill against all resilience levels over 1. At the same time, we're reducing the top end effectiveness and are decreasing their range via the ADS damage fall off scaler slightly, which will bring them more in line with adaptive hand cannons and reduce the range below all other pulse rifles.
Yo,
So we're
you
gonna
can
make them
tell
more like
that
hand
they
cannons.
reach out to like these elite PvP players to ask them these questions. Like, hey, what would you like us to do for for you're an elite PvP player. What can we do to make your experience better? Oh, well, look, this gun clearly is too powerful in my hands. So what I want you to do is I want to make it even more difficult for lower skilled players to use it effectively. That
I
way
don't think they need
people
to reach
like
out to
me.
anybody. I think they just look at the data they have.
That way
Yeah.
people.
So they're reducing the body shot damage from, again, 22 to 21.5, crit damage 39.6 to 38.7, reduce the ADS damage fall off scalar 1.7 to 1.6. Now in my hands, I would notice absolutely none of these changes. I'd be like, no, this is exactly the same.
Do any of
Lightweight
these numbers
pulses,
change time to kill from like any armor resilience, right?
Yeah.
Does it still 3-tap? Does it still 2-tap? Does it still whatever tap at X resilience? If it does, if it still taps at a set resilience, then what the hell is the point of the change? You know?
it's the words that they just wrote that I just read to you.
Oh my god.
I'm not saying it's a good point, but I'm saying that's what the point is. Just like the lightweight pulses can feel too difficult to get their TTK on target requirements. I'm sorry, and time on target requirements. We're bringing the optimal TTK forgiveness up for the lightweights. So the body shot damage is going from 17 to 20.4, and crits are going from 31.45 to 31.6.
What's a lightweight roll? Because I thought a lightweight was Claws of the Wolf, but that's a rapid fire. So what's a lightweight pulse rifle?
I'm pretty sure. Nope. The drum's called an adaptive frame.
Lightweight pulse. Oh, Chattering Bone is lightweight.
Stay frosty, because there's a video from Cool Guy this week.
There we go.
Chattering Bone as well. So
yeah,
that's
Stay frosty,
impressive.
Chattering Bone. The Agma PR6.
Battle Scar. Oh, the Battle Scar's a lightweight? Really? And then for the elemental stuff, we got...
Yeah, so they're bringing those up slightly.
The Agma PR6. Is that what you just said?
It sure is.
Yeah, okay. And
they're making changes to hand cannons, too.
Oh, great. Let me guess. Even more oppressive in PvP for highly skilled players?
Well, the precision's there. They've seen a small bump in usage and effectiveness with the recent buff to the body shot damage. Imagine that. But we want to lean harder into the fantasy of the intrinsic perk.
No.
So this is going to affect Luna's Howl, Not Forgotten, and Malfeasance. Man, it was nice not having to list those first two guns ever again. But the intrinsic hand cannon precision frame will now reduce your ADS movement speed penalty by 10%. Reduces your movement speed penalty by 10%. So that means it increases my movement speed. Bungie, this is this whole double negative thing.
No, that's right.
Makes
Yeah,
my
it
brain hurt a
increases
little
your
bit.
movement speed by 10% when you're aiming down sights. Yes, that is correct, Peroty.
Why couldn't Bungie? Why couldn't we just say that? That would have been a lot easier to understand. You can use less words to say the same things.
Nope,
and then,
not allowed. Nope.
And then we might understand what is
same as the number thing
you're trying to tell us.
Can't tell us dates either.
Yeah, but they can tell us down to the 10th of a point of damage what the tweak is. When no one's going to feel that except for people. The highest of the PvP skilled players are going to know what that 0.2 difference is going to feel like. The rest of us are going to be like, this gun doesn't seem to work as well. Let me try something else, or go, I guess I just suck more today, and move on with their lives.
Accurate.
That's what I do. Scout rifles for our lightweights. For a brief period, we buffed the lightweight scouts, bringing down their time to kill, which is among the slowest of the game. So you brought it down and okay, made it slower. Great, good. We made them more forgiving in terms of the optimal time to kill, but these changes were quickly undone when we moved into the light crucible sandbox. I wish they would. What is the light crucible sandbox? Is that just the meta we're in now? Like they're saying this as if it's a thing I should know, and I'm like, do you just mean the current meta? Anyway, so we re-implemented those changes, tuned for the new health values in PvP. So the body shot damage goes from 32 to 38, and the crit damage goes from 64 to 64.6. Great. Again, Bungie, words, definitions. Sniper rifles, our favorite weapons in the game that we're really hoping we get double sniper rifle drops on. So in general, we're continuing the work to reduce the visual flinch experienced by sniper rifles in Crucible to be a more reasonable level.
Okay.
Yeah, the intent is to maintain the difficulty of shooting through flinch to allow for counterplay without it feeling too jarring to be damaged while scoped in. So they've reduced the camera roll component of flinch against players by 20%, and Whisper of the Worm specifically, they further reduced the flinch to compensate for it being a heavy weapon, so they reduced the camera roll component of flinch against players by 50%. So there you go, sniper rifle players, enjoy.
And this is in PvP, or is this across the board? They don't say.
Well, it both says against players, so I'm guessing
Oh, it
so
does say against
PvP.
players?
Yeah, both of these are against players. In PvE, they're like, why are you sniping? There's just simply no reason to snipe in PvE. Come on, what do you do with yourself?
No, PvE, no, because like the Whisper of the Worm got a buff not too long ago and is really good. It actually got a flinch buff, which is kind of what made it good, but like there's a lot of good like exotic sniper, a lot. There's one or two good exotic snipers for PvE. But no, if we could get buffs on those exotic snipers, that's a good thing, regardless. So yeah. But this doesn't involve that, so I'm saying words for no reason.
But you don't get that because they're like, we don't want to give you that.
Yep.
We do want to also look at the weapon perks, like the Skulking Wolf, the Iron Banner Origin perk. We felt the Iron Banner perk could use an effect to make it worthwhile in PvE. Yeah, because it's totally useless right now. And we think this edition is in line with the fantasy of the perk itself, so the perk description string will be updated in the future to reflect the new functionality, which is the Skulking Wolf will now work in PvE, making enemies slightly less accurate in targeting you when active. This is like the effect the Manticore has while airborne. Okay, that's something. And target lock, while increased the magazine sizes on SMGs, keeping this perk in its nerf state rendered it effectively useless. Indeed. We will keep an eye on how the perk changes affect the strength of the SMGs in Crucible. And so they're going to remove the custom tuning to make the perk less effective on SMGs. So your target lock nerf on SMGs will be unnerfed, but they're going to keep an eye on it to make sure it isn't too unnerfed. And then if so, they will nerf it again. So yeah. Demon, what do you think about Skulking Wolf being useful in PvE?
Semi-useful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, useful in that it had zero use before, and now it has more than zero use. So
yeah, I suppose it was
not
easier to kind of change
it.
Yeah, it was easier to kind of change what we currently had rather than adding like another perk to the Tinistry's Mastery, which is what basically this boils down to, that nobody could use a PvE gun with the perk on it in PvP. Yeah, you could use it in PvP, but you couldn't use it in PvE because it had no benefit, kind of thing. So yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's like I can put this on, but I have a perk on it that literally does nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Super useful. Yeah, so it's better. And target lock, we'll see if that also helps with the slight boost to magazine size and target lock being more useful if everyone runs over everyone in PvP with target lock on again on SMGs. We'll find out. Now remember, those of us who are old enough, remember the last time they attempted to change the fire rate of the Graviton Lance and how super well and not troublesome at all that went. So we're going to play the have they learned their lesson game. Because they argue it's maybe the strongest primary weapon in the game across PvE and PvP sandboxes. And while it's not too problematic in the high-skill Crucible lobbies, it is dominating the lower and mid-skill lobbies to an unhealthy degree, as well as seeing extremely high uptime and potency in all level of PvE content. Oh, the really good gun's really good. It's a real shame. So we're going to knock it down because we can't have nice things. And so we're going to take the change back to its previous fire rate of 300, in theory. So that's their intention. Last time they changed that, they made changes to the pulse rifle class and completely, I can't remember what exactly they did to it. It was supposed to go to from 300 to 390, and it ended up doing something completely different. So they're taking it back to 300 RPM. We'll see what happens. And malfeasance, who they mentioned once before, but this gun feels noticeably different to shoot compared to other 180 hand cannons because it was missing some of the intrinsic benefits provided by the precision perk. So they added the They're adding the remaining intrinsic effects from the Precision Hand Cannon perk, including the accuracy bonuses and the new ADS movement speed penalty reduction. The airborne effectiveness was already baked into the stats. So, Malfeasance getting touched because they were like, hey, here it is, let's touch it. And now the one I'm worried about, let's see what they're going to do here. So for the Titan class items, the exotic ones, the Stoicism, your Spirit of Alpha Lupi, the Healing Impulse was tuned around Barricade, which has significantly less uptime than the Thruster. Now that Alpha Lupi can work on Thruster, we need to branch the effect's strength accordingly. So they reduced the Healing Pulse when using Thruster to 30 hit points that can roll over into the shields. So I don't know how many points it's doing right now, but now it'll do less. And that makes me a little sad. But don't worry, guys. You can go to the Bungie store for the holidays.
Do we have to?
You don't have to, no.
Okay.
Tis the season of the dawning. So, I mean, you can bake and deliver dawning cookies to each vendor by 8:59 a.m. Pacific time on the last day of this year. And you can claim the new Bungie Rewards Dawning Ornament for purchase, which is certainly an ornament you could put on your tree that has the Destiny logo on one side and kind of looks like the Traveler.
I like the Destiny baubles that they did as a set. They did like a 6 set that had been around for ages. And now, when I want them, I can't get hold of them. But somebody will probably have them for sale somewhere after Christmas.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
They've like a cool set of 6. I think they were from Destiny 1, but they've been around for ages.
Yeah, they've been around for... I remember them being out there for, forever. So what do we think of this ornament? Is it maybe just like the dullest looking ornament you could have possibly done?
Yep.
I mean, like I get it. It's a logo and the Traveler and a very,
If it was a bauble, then yes, I think it says to me, this is nice. This is a proper, but it looks flat to me. So
this is an ornament you could sneak onto a tree and nobody would even know it was Destiny related.
No, but I could sneak the baubles on there. And if it was just a white one that looked like the Traveler, nobody would know.
I mean, you could sneak many things many places, but I'm saying, other people could.
Okay.
Or you can give the perfect gift. So don't miss the chance to give some amazing loot to your favorite Guardian this dawning. The Bungie Store also has the pin collection. Dress to the expert or eager to skim their way through life with the Bear Walker Deluxe All-Star Vector Skateboard. So they have this lovely collection of pins of, a whole bunch of different weapons from the game. Skateboard of the skimmer from the game, or a shirt and dress.
That's what it looks like to me. Yeah.
I just scrolled down. I looked at this on Thursday, and I just scrolled down this picture. And I was like, okay, yeah, those are certainly things you could sell to people that they might want to buy.
Not me, thank you.
I don't think these are the perfect gift. Something tells me I don't think we're quite there.
And I don't think I can afford the next one at the disc plate, but other people might be able to afford it.
So yeah, I mean, if you're looking for your a special way to light your room during the dark and winter, the disc plate Lumino. The Last City Lumino shines under the traveler's gaze, featuring OLED illuminated neons, holographic background, glossy details, and intricate 3D painted elements. And you can buy it here from the page they have listed for, let's see, how many? Oh, it's only
£259 or
$299.
Oh.
So yeah, just 4 to 8 business day delivery to the United States. So yeah, for the low price of $300.
$300. You better next day that by hand on foot. Actually, not even on foot. That better be like old school freaking what do they call that?
Illuminated neons in it. It actually glows, and it's got holographic background, glossy detail, and intricate 3D printed elements.
Oh well, just jump sold.
There you go.
Now you've sold them.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, you got me, brother.
Okay, yeah, and yeah. So there is the Dawning Crop sweatshirt for $60. The Dawning Skater dress for $55. And your pin collection. Oh no, Demon, no, here. I have the perfect thing for you. So our pin collection we'll get to in a minute.
Okay.
Because I will click through this and hope it actually has a list of all of these weapons. The All-Star Vector Skimmer Deluxe Skate Deck by Bear Walker. Do we want to take a guess, if you all haven't looked, what the price on this is?
I haven't looked.
The skateboard?
Yeah, the skateboard. They've got a picture of it
that's
there
a
on
real
the TWAB.
skateboard, right?
Is it the
Yes.
skateboard or is it just the
Looks like a
deck
real skateboard.
without the wheels,
Um,
isn't it? I think it's the deck without the wheels, as far as I remember. They're
they
advertising
show-
it anyway.
They show the wheels. They show pictures of the wheels here in the store. So
Uh-huh.
take with that. Let's
It can't be
see.
a real skateboard because look on the deck. You see
Trucks-
that red knob?
Trucks and wheels included.
Oh,
Really? Is
which
that
are
not?
which are aluminum and urethane apparently. So yes, this is a real skateboard. Trucks and wheels are included. How much do we think the skateboard is?
$419.
I would say $699.
$495, and it can be yours. There's only 500 of them, so act fast.
Well, for me, it'd probably be £699, won't it?
Probably,
Yeah.
and at least 2 or 3 trips to the emergency room.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
scale
you
it.
gotta
I'd put it up
factor that
on the
in.
wall. It'd be the thing you put up on the wall. Yeah.
We
not
have to
the load.
factor in the emergency room visits, people. Okay.
Yeah. It's very important. It's part of the total cost of ownership. Yeah. So, and then our Destiny pin collection is the Exotic Armory Collector Pin Box version 1 for $75, which includes your Mida Mini Tool, your Mida Multi Tool, your Wardcliff Coil, Fighting Lion, Skyburner's Oath, Sunshot, Ace of Spades, Rat King, Graviton Lance, and the Cold Heart, which they've left the T off of, so it's listed as the Cold here. But those of us who know, it's the Cold Heart. Guys, let's do a little bit of
Destiny 2 original weapon, exotic weapon set that we have, apart from the mini tool.
Yeah, the mini tool they threw in, and they were just like, well, maybe it had the Telesto in it originally, and they were like, no more Telesto. You sit over there in the corner, think about what you've done.
Yeah.
Wow, that's some Telesto hate there.
That's
It's
Telesto
not me.
love.
Yeah, it's Telesto love. It's Bungie. Bungie and Telesto have never been friends. And Graviton Lance is quickly becoming Telesto's bigger brother, going, I'm going to pick up the mantle of, no. You think you're going to tweak me? Absolutely not. No. Oh, we're going to adjust this weapon? No, I don't think you are. This has really been a weapon everyone's using. We're going to adjust it. That's what you think. Graviton Lance says no. And now we have many, many pictures of people doing things, going places, looking good while they're doing it in the dawning fashion submissions, of which I didn't do because I never remembered to do it. And I'm guessing you all are in the same boat. But we have, we have our Guardians Incorporated, where we have our Monsters Inc. scene redone by Guardians here on Europa.
Nice.
We have a snowboarding Santa and someone on Europa doing, kickflips and things on their speeder. Let's see, scene from Celeste, vanilla flavored traveler, inspired by a vanilla ice cream cone. This Titan won't be cold. Okay, a Titan sitting on Europa. A very sweet hunter. Just a mint, swirly mint looking hunter. Which, yeah. And then a number of baked goods and things that, they're all there. If you want to look at them, they're in the 12. We're not going to go over all these because this is silly. And why are we doing this? Now let's see. Bungie Foundation, look back at 2024. Many things happened. Many funds were raised. Little Light added 6 new partners and 20 hospitals and childcare facilities. They've got 7,300 iPads available for pediatric patients, helping kids be kids during fighting their toughest challenges. Scholarships for a brighter future. 7 new students in underserved communities receive scholarships through the partnership with the College Success Foundation. Granting wishes to spark joy. We collectively, the Bungie Foundation, help make 50 kids' dreams come true for Make-A-Wish. Raised $375,000 to support the humanitarian partners in the Hurricane Helene and Milton relief efforts that are still ongoing. Game to Give kicked off in a big way. Game to Give will be kicking off in a big way January 23rd to February 9th. They've got more details coming on that. And so Respawn, we have more Destiny 2 fashion feedback. We have a new set of what might you like to see. And I think the first one on the list here they've already accomplished with their current armor set, but I'll have to see if you agree.
All right. The themes. We have Dragon Slayer, Well, you can't get the dragons right, so maybe you can get the Dragon Slayer right. Let's see how that works out. Dragon scale armor with red leather accents, lots of straps, and various sizes of buckles. Pauldrons are larger, so clearly Titan armor. Dragon scales with one larger for deflecting fire and teeth trophies. Definitely Titans. All right. Jungle Stalker, camouflage patterns for classes, ghillie suit elements, thermal optics. That's up my alley. There we go. Masked Vigilante. That's absolutely Batman. Sleek formal wear meets covert spec op. I'm sorry, that's James Bond meets Batman. Sleek formal wear meets covert spec ops. Prominently featured mask for maintaining anonymity. Mech suit. Mech suit featuring enhancements like hydraulics, hinged joints, power cables, steel exoskeletal structures, and weapon batteries. Skater punk. Lightly armored outfit referencing popular elements of the 1980s and 1990s. Skater and punk cultures, mohawks, graphic art, plaid, and denim. Distressed dark armor prominently featuring skeletal elements of zombification, and alien skulls. Supernatural glowing... I'm sorry. I went on to the next set without saying what it was. My bad. All right, so the art, plaid, and denim ends at Skater Punk. The next armor theme is Raven Necromancer, which is a distressed dark armor prominently featuring skeletal elements of zombification and avian skulls, supernatural glowing highlights underneath elements. That sounds pretty cool. Stag Woodland Guardian. That, my friends, is called a skinwalker, just so you know. Elegantly carved woodcraft armor with antler motifs, white birch, moss, and slate, etched talismans and runes. Yeah, no, that they're making it sound pretty, but that's a skinwalker. Sorry, not that's a note for me, dog. A wasp duelist, sleek, form-fitting armor with prominent two-tone stripes, spikes stylized as stingers, advanced optical setup, packed with rapidly moving mechanical elements, and VFX wings. Then we have Aztec, which is stylized jaguar armor, gold and turquoise accents, colored feathers, painted mantles, and squared geometric elements. So... And then Cryptid, armor based on famous urban legends such as Mothman, Chupacabra, and the Jersey Devil. The Mothman is absolutely going to look stupid no matter who gets that. Chupacabra might be pretty cool, depending on which version of the Chupacabra they pick. Chupacabra looks anywhere between like a little angry coyote all the way up to a werewolf. So that could be cool. And the Jersey Devil also has many forms. It's gone anywhere from a grotesquely mutated human being to an actual devil. So depending on which form of that they choose. Man, the Dragon Slayer just sounds like what's his name? The Witcher, honestly. Just The Witcher.
Yeah. The mech suit sounds like the Fallout power armor.
Geralt.
Kind of. Yeah. Geralt, yeah, it sounds like Geralt, yeah.
Or Siri now, because
don't bring that, bruh. Look, I'm already tilted. Don't even start. Jungle Stalker. That's piqued my interest. I'm thinking Jungle Stalker. Raven Necromancer sounds like it's gonna be cool. Stag Woodland Guardian. That bruh. That is absolutely a skinwalker. I'm telling you. No. No. And then Cryptid. Cryptid has some potential depending on what they pick, but I think the really only good things here is Jungle Stalker, Raven Necromancer, and potentially Mech Suit.
I wish they would have picked different cryptids. Like where's my Nessie one? Where's my Bigfoot? Give me something more absurd. There's so many cryptids to choose from. Don't limit yourself.
Right? Bigfoot. Well, yeah, Bigfoot would have been a good one to have for any class. Well, Warlocks wouldn't have made a really good Bigfoot. Titans for sure. Right? So you have Bigfoot. You have Oh my god, there's so many different cryptids. The Skinwalker, they could have gone with Skinwalker, but I think they did with the Stag Woodland Guardian, honestly. You could have gone with an actual werewolf. You could have gone with would a vampire be considered a cryptid?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Okay. But no, there's a Rougarou, which is technically a different cryptid, but when you look at what it is, it's just like a French word for werewolf, and it looks like a werewolf, but it is kind of different. So it's not quite a werewolf. Like its weaknesses are different, like how it transforms is different. But the down and dirty is it is kind of a werewolf. But yeah, the Rougarou, they could have gone with that, you know. You have the thing, the swamp monster. That could have been man.
Creature from the Black Lagoon. Although that's less cryptid now, and I'm thinking more monster movie.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Lots of good possibilities.
So,
I'm curious to see. I mean, they've thrown a lot of different things out, and I just wonder if there's a hierarchy, if they're looking at feedback on this, if they're like, we're going to build 4 of these. Let's see if it's the 4 that anybody cares about.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, they keep putting these in the TWABs, but
yeah, but sort of like to
and,
what
and
end?
saying
guys?
saying that they're sending out the questionnaires, but we haven't seen the questionnaires, and I haven't seen anybody else kind of talk about the questionnaires.
Yeah, no, I haven't either. So maybe they're going to show us.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's like, you know, we're going to have 4 or 6 weeks of these, and then they're going to show us the questionnaires. At which point I'm like, well, what was the point of putting all these in the TWAB if it's like, hey, here's a bunch of options? Well, yeah, that I'm not going to remember until you give me the questionnaire or not.
I think the thing is with like these armor sets is sometimes maybe don't do a full armor set. Maybe put some effort into just doing separate pieces, because what I find with a lot of kind of like the spider side builds is that they will take one piece of armor from one place and combine it with another place to make it look like something completely different, which is, I know what they're kind of asking for with these kind of like these questionnaires, but to give us separate pieces and put maybe like a bit of effort into kind of like when we had Destiny 1, I've got my Titan is decked out to be Iron Man, and that's because of the way that we could put the shaders on there and the armor sets that you could put together from different armor sets to make you look like Iron Man. And I know Spider Size does very similar things to kind of make you look like, say, the Joker or somebody from The Witcher or
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man and things like that. So if they kind of did individual pieces like they do with, sometimes we have the exotics, and then we have like, you'll have an armor piece that would match the exotic, but they're only available in the Eververse store for silver. So say like we've got the Doomfang Pauldrons. I think there's a chest piece that matches that you can kind of, again, you can buy, and it will kind of make your kind of outfit look very similar. Things like that might be the best way to kind of go, is like do separate designs for separate pieces of armor, not do full sets all the time. Just throwing it out there as maybe something.
Yeah,
well, that's what they do inside of Eververse. If you look, they have like the themes that go with like our particular like exotics.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know they do that, but they do that for silver only.
Oh, I see what you mean.
But I'm saying if they're going to do like, if they're asking for like these different sets and things, maybe kind of do individual pieces that people could then use to combine to make like a Mr. Potato Head kind of thing, you know, to do whatever you want to kind of do.
I thought you actually wanted a Mr. Potato Head armor set for a second.
We could do that. I mean, yeah.
Why not? Where's my Toy Story crossover? Come on.
Right? Mattel says what?
That'd be amazing.
Oh, man. Actually, Titans would make a great Buzz Lightyear. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, no, we need this in the game. We need a Buzz Lightyear Titan, for sure.
Crossover win, Punchy. Crossover win. But what we do have is a player support report. Because, as discussed, nothing has gone wrong and everything is fine. So the Dawning Event card cost, earlier this week, they identified the issue where the cost could be, the card upgrade could be acquired for less silver than intended. That was 0 silver. So they at one point, you know, it was available for free. You could pick it up for free, and if you did, good job, congratulations. They then pulled the card, and thus all of the progression for the card things for a couple of days. Now the card is back at its correct price of, I believe, 1,000 silver. So if you got the card for free, good job. If you were mad that you were trying to do progress the card and the card was not there, it's back now. It should be working as intended. Your Dawning Event card triumphs. So due to the issue preventing the triumph progression, they have auto-completed the Amateur, Adept, and Expert Baker triumphs for the Adept card, which is basically baking different numbers of cookies for different people. They just said, we're going to auto-complete all of them. Because I think there was also a separate issue of they weren't progressing properly. So, not only was the card not available for the first, day or so of the event, we were baking cookies, and some of the cookies simply were not counting toward progress of, hey, bake 100 cookies, hashtag half the cookies don't actually work where they're trying to get to. So they just said, we're going to complete them. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Your Dawning Weapon double perks. Earlier this week, they fixed an issue with the Dawning Weapon focusing. The Dawning Weapons now correctly have a chance to drop with extra perks in the left and right columns after you obtain the Perky Presence and the Perkier Presence upgrade from Eva Levante in the tower. Because before you were picking up those upgrades and you were not getting the double perks because your presents were simply not perky enough. Your tonic bug fixes and tuning. We are developing the following changes to tonics, planned to release December 17th, 2024. Our main goal is to give you far more opportunity to earn the weapons you're chasing with tonics and decrease the instances of tonics running out mid-activity. Because there's nothing more frustrating going, hey, I finally remember to pop one, and now it's going to expire before it could theoretically be useful to me. So the plan changes are as follows. Your legendary tonics will guarantee the associated weapon drops when triggered directly to your loot feed, rather than being shared across multiple episode Revenant weapon drops. You will now see these drops as you defeat enemies or complete general activities throughout Destiny 2. Your base tonic durations have been increased across the board, which can be further increased by lab equipment up to plus 50% in Act 3. So accrued through the episodic quest progress. Your uncommon tonic duration increased to 40 minutes from 20. Your rare tonics are 60 minutes from 40. And the legendary ones are up to 80 minutes from 60. So basically they've added 20 minutes to all the tonics. General bug fixes to help address a small number of tonics that are currently focusing the wrong weapons or armor. So they should actually focus and provide the thing that they now say they provide to you once this update goes live. And the legendary tonics now affect the chances of obtaining specific items from the relevant activity. So for instance, consuming a tonic of Vantage Point in Onslaught will increase the chance of that weapon dropping from Revenant Onslaught chests. And if any issues are found, they'll look into those. When this release goes live, they'll communicate more around the hotfix if necessary. So yeah, the tonics should now actually be maybe useful and do what they're meant to do versus you might get a chance to get something by popping this tonic, which I don't know what they were thinking when they designed it that way initially. And so those are the things we're gonna fix and have been fixed. There are a couple more issues that they know about that they will be fixing at some point, hopefully. So some players' intros quests can reset after giving Zavala a cookie. So you go to the tower, you speak to Eva. She says, "Hey, go give Zavala a cookie." She gives you the oven and the materials to bake a cookie. Your first quest step is go bake Zavala a haladoodle and hand it to him. Some people can't do that, so they're stuck. The workaround seems to be using a different character, and that seems to work. If you can't progress it on the character you're trying, try a different one. Because once you've done it once, you don't have to do it again, I don't believe. Players' recipes on their main character can sometimes reset if an alternate character obtains the Dawning Intro quest. So once you've given Zavala your cookie, you may have to do it again. 2 triumphs in the Star Baker titles are unlocked if a player has the guild title previously. This issue will not be fixed. So yeah, if you've done it before, congratulations. That's what Nitedemon was talking about of it's already pre-unlocked for your convenience. The Solstice quest can be viewed on Eva for those who did not complete it. The Dark Frosty ingredient uses a placeholder icon. It sure does. Some players are unable to purchase the Lucent Night Warlock bundle. Words are difficult. You can't purchase it. Maybe you'll be able to purchase it one day. But for now you can't. Checkpoints for some master raids still are not being saved. Modifiers in the Vanguard Ops. occasionally change after loading into new areas. Still, during Contest of the Elders, players who have no revive tokens left and then die might get stuck on the Finding Spawn Location screen instead of restarting the activity or going to orbit. Similarly, only 5 out of the 6 explosive tanks may spawn during the Spider Tank encounter, resulting in a soft lock until the players wipe and restart in the Contest of Elders. Speaking of dungeons, in the Vesper's Host, players cannot dunk the nuclear core in the bunker if the Corrupted Puppeteer's wipe mechanic starts when the core drops, and players who are unable to complete Step 6 of the Rogue Network quest may need to claim the collectible in the Heart Room without doing the puzzle. So yeah, things that were broken last week are broken this week, and the Dawning added to the pile of things. More artwork, more movies. And yeah, this is the final TWAB of the year, so they're going to take a short break for the next few weeks to celebrate the holiday season. They'll be back in January 9th with the first TWAB of the new year. In the meantime, keep an eye on their various accounts. They'll put things out through the Destiny 2 team or Bungie Help accounts as necessary. And yeah, that's the TWAB for this week.
The TWABs for this year. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. The end.
The end. But not for us. Because
No,
I'll still drag these two along for the whole of Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, never for us.
But we may not necessarily talk about Destiny.
There
may be other stuff. We could talk about other stuff.
All Lego Fortnite all the time.
Is there other stuff available? That's the question.
I mean, there certainly could be. We did get a patch this week that maybe fixed some things that maybe they tweaked a couple things, because we did get patch 8151 on December 10th this week.
Oh, okay.
So which gave us the Dawning. Snowballs are now up in several encounters for combatants. There's the 3 new emblems that are going to drop randomly: the Confectionery Commander, the Epicurean Extraordinaire, and the Handcrafted Hunter emblems. I think I've seen one of those 3 drop for what it's worth, which I can't remember if it's limited. I know there's the whole cookie baking thing, which of course they don't touch on here at all. The big community event that we're never going to speak of again. They added the new Mistral Lift weapon. The Astral Stasis Drake armor has been added in the Eververse store. They did fix an issue in Tomb of Elders where players waiting for revival after the final Tomb of Elders boss have been defeated, and they would spawn in the Warden's office and could not claim rewards. So that should be fixed now, so you can actually get your end of contest rewards for the Contest of the Elders. Onslaught Salvation fixed issues where the bonus Heatwave round was occurring less than intended, and where the invisible ledge was present near the 3rd defense location on the Kel's grave. In Crucible matchmaking, they updated the back-end thresholds to improve matchmaking times and quality of matches. I was wondering, because I played a little bit this week again in Crucible, and it seemed to be much, much quicker than it had been in the past few weeks of just finding matches at all, even just in things like Control. They also adjusted the Fire Team MMR waiting in 6v6 playlist to avoid redundancy with Fire Team matchmaking. I'm not so sure about that, because I definitely match the same teams over and over again, but that's fine, as long as we're matching. They increased the score threshold at which times teams are broken up to allow more matches to recycle and improve matchmaking times. Vesper's Host fixed issues where the first secret chest would only award the first player who opened it, so now all players can get it. The Icebreaker Catalyst was not always awarded to the player who died during their run. And fixed an issue where players could crash during the boss death. Not sure. I assume they mean the player's game could crash during the boss death. So yeah,
No, the players could crash. Yeah,
they were just driving down I-95 trying to play Destiny, and they would crash during the boss room, which is unfortunate and very fatal. In the second encounter, they fix an issue where sometimes the boss will not reform properly after DPS, resulting in an infinite damage phase. Aww. Garden of Salvation fix an issue where the Consecrated Mind boss could be pushed off the starting platform and immediately end the encounter. Feel free to keep using stasis if you want, they say. In Salvation's Edge, fixed an issue where the incorrect wipe text was displayed during the witness encounter. In your exotic mission rotator, they fixed an issue where the featured exotic mission was not granting pinnacle rewards. Fireteam Finder fixed an issue where the Vow of the Disciple raid was missing the master option in the Fireteam Finder. And Hunter, they did their touching of the Raiju's harness, retuned the super energy granted by defeating arc buff combatants, And there's all those numbers that we already read. And if you're interested, you can go there and read the same numbers. I'm not reading them to you again. It's a lot of, 0.3 to 1 and 1.7 to 2.5s. They tweaked it like they said they were going to. And Revenant Tonics fixed an issue where the quest progress could be blocked on some specific characters. Fixed issues where the tonic of worldly arms armor and tonic of worldly chest armor had incorrect descriptions. Good. And the fix the week went live this week in the hotfix where the legendary Tomb of Weapons tonics were targeting the incorrect weapons now has also been fixed. So when you target a thing in the Tomb of Elders, it'll actually target the correct weapon for a change. And just generally, they updated the Galahart armor ornament sets in the collections, use their appropriate names, reduced the requirements for the Fight to the End Triumph from 5/15/30 to 50 to 5/10/2040. I don't know what Triumph that is, but they made those lower. So if you've been struggling with that, maybe it'll have been fixed for you now. Fix an issue where the spawn sound effect can be heard briefly before the ship goes into the screen warp animation. And an issue where the unintended sound can be heard in orbit when joining a gambit match in progress on Cathedral Scars. I wonder what sound effect that was. So yeah, that's what they fixed this week. That's what's broken this week. And that's all they're going to tell us TWAB-wise until next year. I don't know if the report roundup is valuable at this point, or I think if we've covered everything by now.
Yeah. It was literally Bungie help all week going, we've identified an issue. We've identified another issue. We've identified another issue. Another issue? We're going to patch that issue. And then we've identified another issue.
We've turned this off. We've turned that back on. We've put our right foot in. We've put our right foot out. And we've shaken it all about. There is one issue that they didn't mention in the TWAB that they do have here on Bungie Help. Your gifts in return may be giving you a nothing engram that just spins infinitely in your postmaster and you can't claim them. They do say the team is aware and issues being investigated. I have 5 of those stuck on my postmaster right now on my Titan. So I've got 5 postmaster slots taken up by spinning nothing engrams. So that's fun. Really appreciate that. So yeah, your gift in return may give you the gift of whoopsie, I'm going to take the slot and be broken. Let's see, I think that was the only thing. Fix the dawning perks, fix the additional perks not perking. Those Triumph can't be completed. We're just going to complete all of them. We went over our tonic changes. And everything else was related to, we broke it, we fixed it, we broke it, we fixed it. So yeah. Nitedemon, have you watched any videos this week?
Have I watched videos? Many videos have been watched. Many people's opinions have been gained. But the selected few that I will include in the show notes this week are, we have the Dawning Guide, which, according to Astacross, could have just been a copy and paste from last year's, but we have the Ultimate Dawning Guide for 2024 from Astacross. We have the Perfect Fusion, which is the Minstrel Lift God Roll, which is from Unknown. And then we also have, they somehow managed to make it even better from Say Wallabra for the Glacioclasm. We have the new meta, according to Cool Guy, over the lightweight pulse rifles that you guys were talking about earlier. For the Stay Frosty, because it's a lightweight, and he even mentions in the video, because it's getting a buff in like the next couple of weeks, that this is going to be even more amazing. So, and he shows you there's a really cool role for PvP, and he goes over the roles for PvE as well. So there's that. Did you know there's a bug where you can break the game and you never die, and you can do this in raids?
Sorry,
and
what?
Yeah, Cheese Forever, as you covered this week.
Mm-hmm.
It will require maybe a Titan, but
Damn it.
I'm sure you've got a couple of Titan friends somewhere.
Just involves a barricade.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's good fun. So yeah, we've got that from Cheese Forever.
Have you done that yet this week, Nitedemon? Because from
No, I
that
need a friend.
evil giggle, it sounded like maybe you had. Okay, I wasn't sure.
No, I wanted to,
Probably
but
giggling at me.
my friends weren't on. And I'll include the Dawning Disaster Asacross video where he talks about the Dawning Disaster because we talked about it at the beginning. So yeah, I think those are all my videos this week. Have you guys got anything, or is it just me?
It's just you, from my
Okay.
perspective.
It's always just me from your perspective.
I was just going to toss in the fastest dawning materials farm because I mean we wouldn't be doing the people a service if we didn't give them at least some other way to farm materials.
True.
Saying go here, shoot things, farm materials. You're saying, listen, I've got the kid on one knee. I'm trying to get into the game. I'm just trying to be able to get my materials done. So Profane Gaming has you covered on the fastest materials farm, which is not Shiroshi. And Demon, they thought you wouldn't notice, but you noticed. Did you know Bungie's just been removing event armor?
Mm-hmm.
Of course you have. So just Crips is reminding us that Bungie removed event armor and thought players wouldn't notice, but they noticed. We noticed.
Yep.
We're on to you.
I noticed in the festival because there was a set. I think it was the Skelly Bone set that you could get that then wasn't available in the Festival of the Lost. I was like, I'm going to buy. I think I bought the one that makes you look like Frankenstein because I'd never bought it before because I didn't have enough Bright Dust, and I thought I'll buy that because it looks like we're doing the same thing that we do with the weapons. Maybe we'll bring one back, and maybe we won't bring one back. So I thought I'll grab it while I could. So yeah, me noticed, me upset.
Beautiful. Yeah, and then I'm contractually obligated to mention Fallout every week apparently because he did a video on what god rolls you're looking for your dawning weapons. So if you're like, here's some weapons, what do I want? Here's what you want, and it's basically here's the roll on everything. Go pick those up or not. We're not going to tell you how to live your life. I think everything else was things you've already mentioned, and I've just started on Shadow Destiny's Destiny 2 is Evolving Backwards video, which is a complete history of Destiny as a game that is clocking in at 4 hours and 56 minutes. So I've started on that epic, but I am nowhere near done with it. But it's like 2007 to 2024. It's like the entire history of Destiny. Because he's been doing some videos about like people playing D1 and going back to Destiny 1 and like remembering how that
I've seen
game
that
is.
as well. Yeah,
and I think it would be worth at least reminding people because Bungie is not. Apparently, starting December 17th, they would remember that community event that they've really been talking about and hyping up, and everyone's super excited for.
It's really hyped. Yeah,
that everyone definitely remembers exists. So your Traveler donut holes for Ikora, your classic butter cookie for Eva Levante, and your dark chocolate motes for the Drifter are the 3 cookies they like you to bake in this next week if you're, trying to care at all about these emblems or the community event. Yeah, which they just, mentioned once, never talked about again. We will never speak of this a second time.
There's no point. We might tweet it out maybe later just to remind people that are on Twitter if they're still there. If it's still called Twitter. If it's not, then people forget.
Yeah, no, not at all. And if you are baking cookies, don't deliver them to the Eververse because it's very irritating to deliver them to the Eververse because you go to deliver her a cookie and then it takes you into the Eververse. Then you have to leave the Eververse and go back in. Every other vendor, you can go and just hand them, your stack of 7 cookies all in a row. Eververse, you have to go in, leave the Eververse, go in, leave the Eververse because the animation just doesn't work properly. So maybe bake her one and then say, no, I'm done with you. This is silly. We're never speaking again.
True.
And and if you didn't notice by now, they did move the oven over to near where your tonics are, with all your other materials. So you no longer have to sift through your possibly very long list of quests to find where your oven has moved to slightly. Maybe it's in the left column, maybe it's in the right column. I like that it has a nice dedicated place to get to now. That's much nicer than trying to hunt through the quest and figure out where it went, and then go look to figure out which cookie it is I'm trying to bake. And yeah, so I think that's it. We've given you things. We've sung, we've danced, we've had squirrel-based stories. I think this is where I tell you that all of our lovely patrons are phenomenal people. Zep Orbit and K4, who cannot be threatened with a good time. Our utter dance troupe of the Scarlet KM, Dedicated WM64, and Renard Calant. Absolutely phenomenal gents. Our grenade throwers of Golden God 1562, Noble, Basically Salt, Fire Squad 1688, and Cutterson 105. Absolutely incredible. And Deacon, screaming for help with her Day 1 raid team, Dimwee, Gravy Jeff, and PP Pipe. absolutely there. You know, and I think they might be ready to tackle this dungeon. I think they might have a good shot at this dungeon for day one. We'll have to see if they're able to pull it off or not. And while Bungie will not be back next week, we will be back next week. What will we be back with? It's you'll just have to stay tuned to find out. So that's where I say, yeah, nonsense, silliness, maybe a shenanigan or two.
Definitely.
So thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty, Night Demon, your Hunters don't want to respond in real life. Go find us on YouTube. We're there. Find us on Twitter, find us on Instagram, find us on Facebook, find us basically just type 2 Titans and a Hunter into a search box. You'll find us wherever you need to be. You can email the show 2titansandaHunter@hotmail.com. Find this show wherever you get your podcasts. And I truly mean that. Just type 2 Titans and a Hunter anywhere. Or just wherever you're hearing these words right now. You've already made it. Congratulations. Great job. Find us on YouTube for every new episode, every weekly update video, and all the live streams. Go to 2titansandaHunter.com for all the lists of videos we talk about, all the links we talk about. Basically, everything in the show notes, it lives there forever. If you want to join the Outer Dance Troop, threaten us with a good time, throw more grenades, join our Patreon, patreon.com/TTH. If you're looking for more casual encounter, coffee.com/2titansandaHunter. That's the name of the show. If you want to see the live version of the show, complete with all the fun stories of travel and nonsense, twitch.tv/no one responds in real life when he's not being shuttled to some distant US-based land with poor internet connectivity. And if you want to know when we go live on Twitch, twitch.tv/2titansandaHunter. Go there, hit the respective bells, go to YouTube, follow, hit the bell. You'll know when things happen. I'm not saying you have to watch all of them, but I'm saying you should watch at least 80% of them, because it's good information. And it'll answer the question of, what do we think is going to be happening next week in Destiny? And then you get to wake up Tuesday morning and say, did they change it with that explanation? Probably. So until next week, bye Demon. Bye Respawn.
Happy holidays. Respawn. Unmute now. It's unmute time. Time to say goodbye.
Oh my god, I said so many things! Alright, Merry Christmas, guys. Deuces. Yada yada.
So many things.
What?
You said so many things.
I did.
Only
But they
two
weren't.
minutes.
Okay, none of
they
it
weren't
was
listening
important. We all know none of it was important. It's fine.
Was it on your stream? Did the stream manage to hear you say?
No, I muted the mic.
You muted
So-
the whole thing. Oh.
Yeah.
Not even the stream got the secret message.
One of these days, he's going to get it right, and he's going to know. Actually,
Hey.
no, I don't think he is.
Well, he
Yeah.
will get it right the same day that Bungie 2 weeks in a row talks about the big community event they want us all to take part in.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
also has not happened yet.